Man, to think it has been over 8 years. Barely over 8 years, but still, bro, that is crazy to think about. Alright. Hang on a minute, though. Gotta check and make sure the audio is working the way it's supposed to be working, as usual. Let's look here. To be working as usual. Okay, that's good. Let's look here. Gotta share this with a loyal fan base. And also get my obligatory backstory ready. You see, when I was a small boy... Oh, wait, wrong series. Okay, let's go ahead and send this to the self-promo tab. Doot. And you know what, I'll send it to Ant as well. Why not? And doot. Okay. Now hang on a minute. I have to get my obligatory backstory footage ready first. Hang on. Because I actually do have a backstory with this case. Hang on. So if we go way over here. I gotta find the exact moment where I had a... Okay, hello everyone, I'm Quint, and welcome to Quint Dove's Ace Attorney Investigations 2. Man, it's actually so funny considering on September 20th of 2017, I actually did dub the first case of this game way back on my old channel. And it's been a while, I'll be honest. Again, September 20th in 2017. That is literally high school Quint right there. I even have the video of when I did it and my voice for Horace Knightley I did at the time. Here, have a listen.
Whether this gun also took Rook's life. Here it comes. You're packing some serious heat. And now put the song and dance. You come this far. Go ahead and say it. I won't just say it. I'll prove it.
Again, yeah, it's crazy to think that, you know, we're going back to this case after nearly 8 years. The funny thing is that I'm going to be entirely honest. I'm actually genuinely considering using the same voices I used for Knightley and such in this video. I know some people might say my voices don't fit, but I mean, I need to, I only have so many voices I can do. And I kind of think my voice weirdly fit for Knightley. Kind of the snooty, you're packing some real serious heat. Although I might have to dial it back just a little bit. Hang on. Audio's still good, right? Dial it back just a little bit. Okay, sorry. Was making sure the audio is good. But yeah, damn, it's like, I don't know, like, I'm getting this, like, weird, like, nostalgic feeling now that we're here again. Anyways, I mean, what can I say? We finished Ace Attorney Investigations 1, Ace Attorney Investigations 2. This game, I actually think this one does warrant an introduction. Seeing as I did an introduction for the last game, how I said that I think Ace Attorney Investigations 1 is one of the most underrated titles in the franchise. Like, honestly, I'll be honest, I would put Ace Attorney Investigations 1 above the first game, above Justice for All, above the Professor Layton versus Phoenix Wright crossover, above Spirit of Justice, but I would put it below Apollo Justice Ace Attorney. But that's still 4 games I think the first Investigations game is overall stronger than. Yeah, I know that Ace Attorney Investigations 1 may not have, like, any fan-favorite cases, like, you know, Farewell My Turnabout, Bridge to the Turnabout, etc. But The thing is, I don't think a game's quality should be indicative of how many fan-favorite cases it has. Then you get the trials and tribulations problem, where everyone puts Bridge to the Turnabout on the top of their tier lists of cases. And I'm just going to be honest with you guys. Bridge to Turnabout is a top 10 case, but it's not number 1. Guys, I want to just say this right now. My favorite case in all of Ace Attorney, and I'm going to boldly claim this as someone who's been in this community, is this right here. I'm telling you guys, when we do this case, you'll see why. Now, I understand why Ace Attorney Investigations 2 has not gotten the flowers it's deserved over the years. The main reason for this is actually because Ace Attorney Investigations 2 had not been localized at the time, much like the great Ace Attorney Chronicles, which also recently got localized thanks to Capcom. Now, while there was a fan translation for Ace Attorney Investigations 2, and very dedicated fans did emulate and play that, many would even know that this is where ProZD did the voice clips for Gregory Edgeworth and such. As well as the names, you know, Justine Courtney, Sebastian DeBest, Ray Shields, all that is changed, obviously, in the official version, but what I'm getting at here is that while not everyone has gotten, you know, to appreciate this game, I genuinely think this is one of the strongest Ace Attorney games there is. Genuinely speaking, my logic for the investigation duology has been the following. The first game, while outside of Reminiscence, it didn't have many I'd call like banger fan favorite cases for the records. It has a pretty consistent quality of cases across the board. Honestly, I don't think any of the cases in the investigations games are outright bad. Some are, you know, run-of-the-mill. I mean, honestly, Case 1 of the first game is solid. You can't really go wrong with Case 1s. I don't think there's any bad Case 1s except for the first Turnabout in the first game, but even then, that's just due to how short and limited it was. For a tutorial, this is a good case. It's short, you know, it gets everything you need to know. The mysteries are straightforward, and it does a good job at setting up the overarching theme of the story. I think Turnabout Airlines is actually one of the most underrated cases in the franchise, especially when we realize how bad Case 2s tend to be. There's something really refreshing about this one. While the Kidnap Turnabout isn't my favorite, it probably is my least favorite case in this game. It still has a very good location. Shilong Lang and Kay Faraday are both introduced, and they're introduced pretty well if you ask me. And while the culprit's not anything to write home about, there is some pretty good stuff. I mean, bro, this case literally has the 21 gun salute line. You saw how hard that made me laugh. Reminiscence is great for continuity reasons. I mean, if you played the first 3 games, you will really appreciate this case, with it being, you know, Detective Gumshoe's formal introduction to Edgeworth. You know, we're going into the past, Callisto, you escaping. There are some great highlights in this case. And the final case is also pretty solid. It's not my favorite final case. I do think Alba is one of the weaker big bads of Ace Attorney, but it's still a very solid resolution to this first half of the greater whole. And you know what, just to get it out of the way, I'll give my overall thoughts on the cases here. Just based off of my rough memory. I remember Turnabout Trigger being an excellent first case. I remember it being honestly everything that Turnabout Visitor wasn't. Really, if you wanted Turnabout Visitor to be longer and have some more memorable characters, this is how you do a Case 1 right. Next up is the Captive Turnabout. Honestly, there is an argument to be made this case has some pacing problems, but it does introduce some pretty big characters. I also think it's a very good follow-up to the first case, which is definitely something that I can say is rare praise, because a lot of times Ace Attorney games have, you know, time skips between cases. Or in the case of the first investigation game with Dual Destinies, cases are told out of order for whatever arbitrary reason. But this is definitely a good follow-up to the previous case. Same can be said about this case, Turnabout Legacy, which, much like Reminiscence, goes back into the past and you get to play as Gregory Edgeworth. This case, I'd even argue, does it better than Reminiscence, because it even more so really benefits from the continuity of the franchise as a whole. The only thing I'll say about this case is that it's peak. It's peak. literally one of the best, if not, I'm still deciding on whether it's my favorite case or not. But this case right here, it's so good. It's emotional. It got me to cry twice on my first playthrough. I'm really looking forward to doing this one. And the final case, Turnabout for the Ages, or Grand Turnabout in the fan translation, also really, really good. I'm not going to say more than that, but anyways. Enough introductions, schmintroductions. Let us begin this game that has eluded the community in an official sense for a very long time. Ace Attorney Investigations 2, Prosecutor's Gambit. Episode 1, Turnabout Trigger. Here he comes! The presidential plane descends from the western skies, bringing a... Oh my god, I can't read this. It's making final... Oh my god, I can't read this fast enough! Slow down! Just listen to that crowd! Welcome, Zangfa! Welcome, Mr. President! And now, sir, your audience awaits! Honored friends and allies, I'm here today to deliver the message. The odious criminals that dogged my beloved... Oh my god, I can't read this fast enough! You have our most heartfelt gratitude. However, friends, do not forget, the battle against evil rages on. Here today, I make you the solemn promise. We shall crush the wicked with the righteous hammer of justice! Ah! Call the prosecutor's office! Get Miles Edgeworth here right away! If anyone can solve this, he can! Let's get out there, fellers. Bro, I could not read that fast enough. Didn't give me enough time to read that. March 25th, 2:46 p.m. Gourd Lake. Spectator area. Can I see the... Oh, thank you! Oh my god, thank you. Well, hang on, let me get some water first. Okay, consolation reading. Let me just... I really should prepare a water bottle on the side for these streams. Okay, so, yeah, we're off to a bit of an awkward start. I did not read the freaking text in the cutscene fast enough. So now you're gonna have to settle for this. Here he comes! The presidential plane descends from the western skies, bringing a message of peace. It's making its final approach and lands right on Gourd Lake. Just listen to that crowd! Welcome, Zangfa! Welcome, Mr. President! And now, sir, your audience awaits! Honored friends and allies, I am here today to deliver a message. The odious criminals that dogged my beloved nation are no more, thanks to the prosecutor's office of your great country. You have our most heartfelt gratitude. However, friends, do not forget, the battle against evil rages on! Here today, I make you this solemn promise. We shall crush the wicked with the righteous hammer of justice! Ah! Call the prosecutor's office! Get Miles Edgeworth here right away! If anyone can solve this, he can! March 25th, 2:46 p.m. Gourd Lake, Spectator. Okay, finally, gameplay time! The news must be halfway around the world already. Yeah, I get my Edgeworth voice back. After all, it's not every day an attempt is made on the life of a nation's president. My name is Miles Edgeworth, and I work as a prosecutor. I came as soon as I got the call. The moment the phone rang, I knew it was serious. Mr. Edgeworth! Thank goodness you're here, sir! This is Dick Gumshoe, a detective with the local precinct. I need to read a little slower. Legalized gas station egg salad sandwiches. What the heck? Hey, it's you again! This is the second time you've popped up here. It's funny. Opened up with the same exact line as last time. He's the one usually assigned to my cases. How's the president, detective? We still don't know, Mr. Edgeworth. The medic just boarded the plane a few minutes ago. I see. Well, I hope he's all right then. Then I suppose you better show me the scene of the crime instead. Right away, sir! Hey! I said hey! Yeah, you! Raffles! Who's that? Alright, gotta give her like a southern accent, because that's what I used for my my video. You're the prosecutor in charge of this here case, ain't ya? Want to give me your first impressions? Anything strike y'all as odd? No comment. Detective Gumshoe, with me. Come on now, Mr. Prosecutor. Don't be like that. I gotta give her like a Sandy Cheeks voice. That's what I gotta do. I gotta channel my inner undersea squirrel now all of a sudden. Mr. Edgeworth, wait for me! Excuse me. Now, detective, I'll need the facts of the case in as much detail as you can give me. Well, the scene was right here at Gourd Lake, as you already know. Bunch of people were gathered to welcome the president of Zhangfa. Dijun Wang. Yes, I've read about his visit. It's been all over the news for days now. It was raining till just before he landed. Luckily, it let up and he went on stage as planned. And then, smack dab in the middle of this... I'm a PC technician. Sometimes people are scared to only work on the computer because they think I'm going to look at their... Whoa! Whoa! Gee! Oh my gosh. I'm not sure if you should be saying that on stream. I'm not sure if it's something you should be announcing on stream, mate. Anyways. And then smack dab in the middle of his speech, bang! A gun goes off, and everyone runs for cover, terrified for their lives. Apparently. Apparently? Truth is, I only just showed up myself, and I don't know a whole lot more than you do, sir. You were summoned on short notice as well? Sure was. Right in the middle of my day off, too. I was at the office taking advantage of the peace and quiet to prepare for my next case. And then the boss himself calls me to the scene. Never a dull moment, huh, Mr. Edgeworth? The boss? Yeah, chief prosecutor's right here in the park. Saw the whole thing. First chance he got, he yelled at the top of his lungs. Get me Mr. Edgeworth right away! He's the only man for the job! Or, something like that. I see. Oh, they cordoned the perimeter of the park off as soon as it happened. You'll be happy to know. So our would-be assassin is still here somewhere. Good. Now all I gotta do is find him in the middle of that crowd before they strike again! You're right. We don't know what else our culprit might be planning. These people are in danger. We don't have a moment to lose. Let's begin with the basics. And search every inch of the crime scene for clues, no matter how insignificant they may seem. Precisely. The president was shot at, which means a gun was involved. That's our first clue. Alright, duly noted. Detective Gumshoe, how exactly was the security detail surrounding the president's speech organized? Well, sir, our officers were mainly focused on securing the perimeter of the park. The president's people took charge of the rest. He has his own team of bodyguards. See those guys over there? Maybe we should ask them a few questions. If I want to talk with them, I need to walk over and press the X button. Okay, 1 second. I'm just gonna grab something real quickly here. Okay, much better. For some reason that shirt is like made of like really heat absorbent material, so it gets really freaking hot. It's also in the middle of May, so you know, summer heat wave. Okay, anyways. Now time for a chit chat. Can I help you? You're one of the president's bodyguards, correct? Could you tell me how a security detail was arranged during the speech? 2 of our senior operatives were attached to the president. The rest secured the stage. This isn't our first rodeo. Anything suspicious in that crowd, and we would have spotted it right away. I see. So the president's security was tightly orchestrated during the duration of his speech. Let's investigate further. We should speak with other witnesses to continue to look over the crime scene. We can't afford to leave any stone unturned. So that's how you go about it, huh? Sure is something seeing the pros at work. Care to share a little something about what happened to that information once you got a hold of it? Bystanders. This one seems persistent, but I can't afford to get distracted. Hey! Ruffles! I asked you a question, dang it! What happens next? Well, we put all the information together and try to find connections. Right, sir? Detective! Don't be so hard on the poor guy. So connections, you say? And what next? Well, I guess you say we connect the dots. Connect one piece of information to another. It's Mr. Edgeworth's forte. He's a logic master. I can view what information I have with L1 and then connect them with the triangle button. I should try it now. Just a quick press of L1 and we'll be off the path of logic. Dude! Hang on a minute. Is my chat glitching out? Hang on. Okay, it's good. Sometimes my chat does this weird thing where like it cuts off and like it shows like half of the message and then it's like, it's almost like the message is off center. Okay, just wanted to be sure. Despite the president's tight security, the perpetrators still managed to carry out their attack, completely undetected by a contingent of highly trained bodyguards, no less. No mean feat. This would have taken some serious planning. In other words, the assassination attempt was almost certainly premeditated. That's the stuff, Mr. Edgeworth! The old logic never fails, huh? Indeed. All we need to do is find the right clues, then make the right connections between them. Make the wrong connections, however, and we'll only wind up further from the truth. Which means I must make well-reasoned connections if I intend to draw logical conclusions. Begin investigation. Gourd Lake, Lakeside Stage. Let's get this investigation started. Time to examine anything that looks suspicious. To examine things, I simply need to walk up to them and press the X button. And if I wish to speak with the detective, blah! I need to slow down, I'm reading too fast already. And if I wish to speak with the detective, I should use the triangle button. Okay, so first things first, I remember you go over here first. No! I was surprised to you, sir, but there's no mistaking it. It's the Steel Samurai. The Steel Samurai, warrior of Neo-Old Tokyo. It's a popular TV show. Old, young, it doesn't matter. It truly has something for everyone. Beats me why they had a Steel Samurai balloon to welcoming... Blah! Stop improvising lines and reading fast. I need to learn the lesson. Beats me why they had a Steel Samurai balloon at a welcome party for a foreign president. It is a little odd, although now that I think about it, what better hero to represent our nation? I must scour the scene and inspect anything that catches my attention. Wait a minute! They removed the suspicious nook and cranny line! What? Oh, come on! Bro, they removed the suspicious looking nook and cranny line? Really? That didn't make it over in the translation? Oh, that's sad. That's sad, dude. Just because you have to be different from the fan translation doesn't mean you have to be different from the fan translation. That's confusingly put, but whatever. This is the flag of Zhang Fa. The key motif is a blazing red phoenix. Wait, what's this? Something the matter, sir? You don't see it, detective? There's something unusual about this flag. Compare with the one on the other side of the stage, if you will. Oh, that's a beauty right there. Just look at it flopping in the wind. It's immaculate. Exactly, which is how a flag should look. And yet, here we see quite a different picture. One thing in particular stands out, don't you think? Right, of course. Is it, I give up. Come on, spill the beans. You can lead a horse to water. Jesus. I'll just have to move the cursor to the problematic spots and highlight the difference with the triangle button. Dude. Look closely. Don't you see the hole? Whoa, look at that! You're right, sir! And note the burn marks around the edges. That's a bullet hole. There's no mistaking it. A bullet hole? So you're saying a bullet went through this flag? And the Steel Samurai balloon itself. Excuse me. Breaks your heart, doesn't it? It does. What villainy could have befallen him? Witnesses said he popped right about when the gun went off. Which would strongly suggest a bullet struck the balloon. Looks like we got a cold case of... Looks like we got a case of cold-blooded samurai murder on our hands. This is sacrilege. I won't rest until... Still a fan even all these years later. This is sacrilege. I won't rest until the culprit has been apprehended. Detective, we cannot let this vile assassin escape. We won't, sir. You can count on it. All right. I think I've gathered enough information for the moment. Time to put the pieces together and see what we can figure out. Now, hang on a minute. I think we logic it now. Dude. There is a bullet hole in the flag, and it seems highly likely the balloon popped by a bullet too. Which means 2 shots were fired, right, sir? Possibly even 3. The president was shot as well, remember? Equally, the hole in the flag and the hole in the balloon could have been made by the same bullet. What we need to know is how many gunshots there were. Investigation complete. Alright, on with the Ruffles! Ruffles! Y'all figure something out, huh? Care to share? Who exactly is she? And why does she keep shouting at us? Rubbernecker, I guess. Seems pretty interested in the case. Come on! Give me something here! We do need to speak with some witnesses to find out how many gunshots there were. Fine. Let's see if... Why do I keep messing up my words, dude? Fine. Let's see if she can tell us anything. There y'all are! Tabby Lloyd, at your service. I'm looking in the case for, well, just for me right now, but... Looking into the case... Miss Lloyd, was it? Miss Lloyd, there's something I'd like to ask you. Well, what can you tell me? Any exclusive details y'all want to share? How about the perp? Have they made any demands? What about them there ruffles? What does it feel like you buy a cravat like that? Will you be quiet for a moment? I'll be asking the questions here. Darn! Here I thought I could get me something juicy for my piece. I need to know about the shooting. Can you tell me how many gunshots you had? Lloyd is just a lot of heart with a microphone. Really, she is. Honestly, she really is. She's got the southern accent and everything, so I figured may as well channel my inner Jane Eyre. Why, hey, that's my lucky pitchfork you're taking there. Also, wait a minute. Speaking of, actually, hold on. Speaking of, where is it? I've been meaning to ask this. I've genuinely been meaning to ask this. I don't know what the, I don't actually know what the consensus is on the Ace Attorney anime adaptation. I've watched it. I know it's not as long or as detailed as the games were, but I'm not sure what the consensus on the Ace Attorney anime is. Just figured I'd bring that up. Ow! Ugh, I bit my tongue there. Alright, one second. Let me put this back. Yeah! Oh, biting my tongue didn't fuck up my voices. Okay, let's see now. Where were we? Well, I most certainly cannot! I beg your pardon? I can't just be handing out leads for free. That stuff's my livelihood. Oh, come on. Don't hold out on us. We all gotta share sometimes. Me? Hold on out on you? Well, if y'all gonna be like that, I'll be moving right along. Goodbye. Wait! Wait for what exactly, huh? If you got nothing for me, I'm gone. We're fresh out of moves here. Out of moves, I wouldn't be so sure. What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth? As you know, Detective, I like to play a little chess. And what does one do in chess when an opponent adopts a defensive position? Why, the board offers any number of options, but some are more effective than others. Sorry, sir, but this is all going way over my head. No matter how impenetrable an opponent's defense may seem, it can always be overcome. Watch and learn, Detective, as I shatter my opponent's resolve with the power of words. Ah, yes! This is the gimmick of this game. See, most Ace Attorney games have their own special gimmick. The first game, Justice for All, had the Cyclops. And then, Trials and Tribulation had multiple playable characters in the form of playing as Mia Fey and Edgeworth. Paul Justice Ace Attorney had the Perceive thing, where you have the bracelet you move around the eye. Dual Destinies had the Mood Matrix. Spirit of Justice had the Summation exams, I guess. Then you had in Personal vs. Phoenix Wright, you had questioning multiple witnesses, which was also done in Great Ace Attorney Chronicles, now that I think about it. And then in Investigations, you had the logic system, and here you got mind chess. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think at launch they originally called it Thinking Chess, but that name was so stupid that they actually scrapped it and called it Mind Chess, which thank God, because bro, Thinking Chess? I don't think that takes me to tell you how redundant and stupid that sounds. You want to make it sound cool, then make it sound cool. Anyways. Not blabbing. Back to the game now. When attempting to draw out entrenched... When attempting to draw out an entrenched opponent, one must employ certain tactics. Let us picture the board and see if we can anticipate our adversary's next move. I have a feeling Matt will get a kick out of this, being a Fire Emblem nerd. Seeing as Fire Emblem is basically chess. Yo, Peyton! Good to see you again, mate. Now, we must analyze the state of play. Y'all ain't getting nothing out of me, not until you give me something in return. Still gonna shoot me? What? What do you mean gonna shoot? Ow! I don't even have a gun, bro. I live in California. I can't own a gun. Law jokes. Okay, jokes aside. Anyways, my opponent has dug his own RP with Beal. Yeah, I'll think about it. I'll think about it. Knowing you and your taste anyways. But we'll think about it. Not what I meant earlier. I know. I'm just playing along. I'm just throwing in my usual Starkey commentary. My opponent has dug herself in deep. Her defenses won't be easily broken. But I can't afford to try her patience by taking too long to plot my next move. In other words, I must be conscious not just of my strategy, but also the passing of time. That said, I can't afford to waste words either. In fact, it can pay dividends not to. If my opponent gets too agitated... If you're fixing to ask me something, well, you danged well ask it already! I may be able to gain a tactical advantage by calmly biding my time. Then, when I see a crack in my opponent's armor, I pounce. I should begin by finding out what it is she does. Alright, time to make my opening gambit. Mind chess! Commence! Why don't you begin by telling me what it is that you do? Sure, or I can totally not do that. Think I don't know when to keep my mouth shut? That's my job. Is it now? So, do something you won't or can't tell anybody about? No, shut up! I ain't no lawbreaker, if that's what you're insinuating. For King's Indian, thank you very much. What are you guys talking about? For the King's Indian, thank you very much. What? Wait, what? What are you talking? Wait, first the guy with the egg salads at gas stations. Now this? What are you guys talking about? Is something in it? Chess. Oh, okay. I get it now. I'm stupid. I didn't put two and two together. I didn't put two and two together. Man, I'm stupid. How can I overlook it's a chess name? How do I overlook that? Oh my god. Dude, no, I know. I'm stupid, bro. I'm so stupid, man. I should know this. I literally played chess with my therapist for years. Okay. Let's calm down. I'm a law-abiding everyday citizen, and you don't got no reason to say otherwise. Forgive me. I meant nothing by it. If it's something you can't tell me about, I imagine it must be very important work indeed. Huh? Well, sure, I reckon, I guess. Least a ways. It will be once I bag my first big scoop. Heh. I see. So it's a scoop you're after. So you're a journalist, is that correct? Darn! Why sure, I'm your friendly neighborhood reporter. The hungriest cub on the beat. That's the mystery of what she does for a living solved. Perhaps our hungry young cub has gathered information vital to the case. Let's make that our next line of inquiry. Thankfully, the time does not run while I'm waiting to talk and do dub lines. If I did, this would actually be very hard. But thankfully, it's only when you're selecting dialogue options. With the opening moves concluded, the mid-game approaches. What else does she have to tell us? At the time of the incident, were you present at the scene of the crime? Come on now, Ruffles. You ain't gotta give little old me... Nah. Come on now, Ruffles. You ain't gonna give little old Tabby something first? Absolutely not. Then I ain't giving you nothing neither. You think I'm a sucker? Think again. Playing a... Okay, fair enough. Didn't you already finish? Oh, you finished the first Great Ace Attorney. You're still working on the second one, though. Gotcha. Come on, this is my career we're talking about here. You gotta give me something. Sadly, the more you know, the more you might find yourself in danger. I ain't scared. I'm a pro. Takes more than the sound of a little gunfire to faze me. Heh. You may be a pro, as you put it, but I'd say you're still a little wet behind the ears. You say you heard gunfire, which proves you were here at the time of the crime. Therefore, you must have seen something. Double darn. Fine, I was here. I saw it. Can report on the big speech. Wound up reporting on a shooting. And you won't get no more out of me than that. I'm done with your tricks, Ruffles. If she came to report on the event, she must have made a record of some kind. A record I would very much like to get my hands on. This is quite the clue as to where to take the conversation next. You're a reporter, which means you must have been working... Blah! Bro, I need to get used to stumbling over my words. You're a reporter, which means you must have been making a record of some kind. You got more questions? You gotta give me something first. That's the deal. I am not in the habit of making deals. Now tell me what I need to know. Sorry, Ruffles. Can't help ya. Time to deploy my clue. No self-respecting reporter would leave the house without a means of putting things on the record. So tell me, Miss Lloyd, where is yours? Cause I made a record! I told you! I'm a pro! Dang near swore my shoes! Run around on this one! Which is why I'm not just about to hand it over to the first person who asks me. I'm not just anyone, young lady. I'm the prosecutor in charge of this case. Don't you young lady me! You ain't getting it, no matter how many times you ask! You understand, don't you, Ruffles? It ain't nothing personal. I understand that your job is a difficult one. You do? Well, ain't that sweet? And in such a competitive field, you must sometimes doubt that if you'll ever succeed. I'll go plenty far, I'm sure of it, yeah. Just as long as I got my trusted tape recorder, I'll always be ready to nab me a scoop. Give it! Give it! The Sizz quote. Intriguing. I was gonna send this to Astro real quickly. Doot. Intriguing. A young reporter, hungry for success, so dedicated to her craft to leave such an important event unrecorded would be unthinkable. And indeed, she did not. She committed the entire event to tape. Ah! Darn it! Darn it! Darn it! This is my scoop you're messing with! My big break! Oh, fine. Sure, I recorded the whole darn thing. It's all right here. You got me, okay? Checkmate. Mind chess. Checkmate. I gotta say, the text transition effect is very smooth on this one. Why you're something else, Ruffles? I was trying to be all strong and silent. Strong and silent. Get real. You're anything but silent. I'm just gonna be blunt on that. I was trying to be all strong and silent, but y'all had me singing like a canary. And never mind that. Now play us the tape. It should finally tell us how many shots were fired. Fine, you can hear it, but I got conditions. You played me like a fiddle, Ruffles. Only the Chief ever played me so good. So you gotta agree to be Chief number 2 and mentor to a rising star, aka me.
Chief number 2, huh? Kinda like a second parent. That's a big responsibility, sir.
God. And one more thing. I want exclusive reporting rights for the first 24 hours. Come on, you gotta say yes. What kind of mentor wouldn't give his star pupil the exclusive, huh? She's a difficult woman to refuse, and I need to hear that recording. 24 hours is more than I can promise, but the story is yours until the case is solved. And the job of Chief number 2? I think not. Aw, you're no fun. But I guess a girl can't have everything. All for the sake of the scoop, huh? Alright, you got yourself a deal. I got exclusive access starting right this second, Ruffles. Good. Then our first order of business is to listen to that tape. Kashak.
Honored friends and allies, I'm here today to deliver a message. The odious criminals that dogged my beloved nation are no more.
The president's speech. Excuse me. The president passionately addresses the assembled crowd, as if trying to shake off the reports of his declining popularity by sheer force of will. Now that there's me. Can't beat a little live commentary to set the scene. The meeting is scheduled for just after the speech, correct?
He seems pretty pleased to be able to put the whole Yadagrasu situation behind him.
As well he should be. This is a great day for all of us. Whose voices are these? Ah, why? There are these 2 old guys standing right in front of me. They were whispering away to each other the whole darn time. I know their voices from somewhere. Wait, the part where the gun goes off is right after this. The president thrusts his fist into the air as the excitement reaches fever pitch. The
battle against evil rages on. Here today, I make you this solemn promise. We shall crush the wicked with the righteous hammer of justice!
What the? Ah! So, 2 shots were fired. Yep, and that tells us something. Something very important indeed. It allows us to deduce the trajectory. Blah! Slow down! I keep going faster. It's like every sentence I have like plus 0.01 fast forward. Slow down on the reading, Quint. Okay. Alright, the new Logic theme too. Also, the soundtrack in this game is a lot better than the first one. The first Investigation soundtrack is good, but this one's also stellar. It's great. Even the more, lesser known Ace Attorney games can still have amazing soundtracks. But then again, good music is a recurring thing in this franchise now, isn't it? Something very important indeed. It allows us to deduce the trajectory of one of our bullets. Of the 2 shots fired, 1 hit the president, which means the other must have passed through both the flag and the balloon in that order, which, as you can see, allows us to deduce the position of our shooter. The only possible place from which a bullet could have been fired through the flag and into the balloon is over here.
Take that!
Drawing a line between the flag and the balloon, it gives us the trajectory of one of our bullets and places our shooter on the left-hand on the left-hand side of the spectator area.
You're a genius, Mr. Edgeworth!
Detective Gumshoe, I'll need to examine the left side of the spectator area.
Roger that, sir! So,
Shame Mealy is a member of the smuggling ring, though. You really want Cammy that badly, don't ya? That's funny. He wants Cammy that badly.
Roger that, sir! So, you need me to clear all those people out of the way, I guess?
I do. And what evidence remains to be found may already be deteriorating. In arcane stories, maybe. Well, we'll see. That okay? It's fiction. I don't see why not. It's just kind of funny, though, you know, because she's just sleepy one. Just, good night. She just has the plushie and she's just constantly falling asleep. Nothing but Cammy's theme is also kind of funny, too. Funny in the good way, I mean, you know, because good music in this franchise. Anyways. I do, and what evidence remains to be found may be already deteriorating. So I need you to be quick about it. Where's that to be established? Okay.
Yes, sir!
Chief! Hey, I'm talking to you, Chief! I suppose you mean me, Miss Lloyd? I sure do! You gotta help me out! This stuff's my forte! I'm the best crowd herder you ever did see! I'm prod, pummel, and push them wherever you like! A very kind offer, but I think a little less hands-on approach might be preferable. Also, about this chief business, I am nobody's chief. Whatever you say, Mr. Edgeworth, sir. Your wish is my command. I somehow doubt that.
Here you go, sir. It's all ready for you. Miss Lloyd here cleared everybody out just like that. You should have seen it.
Oh, you ain't seen nothing. The chief, my other chief that is, she sends them running twice as quick. She sounds like quite a formidable character. Perhaps I should go easier on the poor girl. Thank you, but you really shouldn't have. All that running around. Your clothes are covered in mud. Allow me to pay for the cleaning. It's the least I can do. Huh? You mean my jacket? Oh, don't you be warned, you pretty little head, about that. It's reversible. All I gotta do is switch it around and alakazam. No more dirt. On the outside, perhaps, but you'd still have somewhat of a problem with the inside.
We're ready to go back into the investigation whenever you are, sir.
The crowd has trampled the entire area. We'll be lucky to find any trace of our shooter at all. Begin investigation. Oh, hey, look, there's Prosecutor Payne right there. Right. Hang on, gotta get my water, though. Bro, we're not even at the first cross-examination, and my voice is already getting dry. But we'll play it as it lies, though. Backies. Okay. Hang on a minute here. Audio check to make sure we didn't bump it. Hang on a minute here. Okay, audio's good. Presume the video game. Okay, remember, trash can you check first. You even gotta pick through the trash yourself? Prosecutor's life ain't easy, huh? Detective Gumshoe.
Right away, sir!
The faithful detective scrabbles through the garbage and the prosecutor looks on, his hands unblemished.
Let's see now. Come to Papa, little treasures.
Is he enjoying himself?
Bingo!
Oh, Detective Gumshoe, gotta love them.
Bingo! A popsicle stick! Gotta love the jokes they put on these.
Detective!
Sorry, sir. Relevant evidence. Relevant evidence. Huh? I think I got something.
Good work, Detective. Let's take a closer look, shall we? By examining the pieces of evidence from all angles, we can uncover hidden details.
We sure can. Just tell me which way you want it, sir.
We can rotate the item with the right stick.
If you want, I can move it closer further away, too.
I can use L1 to examine objects up close, and R1 to move out for the bigger picture.
When you spot something, just say the word.
I can point out suspicious areas with the cursor and press... Excuse me. That was the worst time to burp, man. That was the worst time to burp. I can point out suspicious areas with the cursor and press X to inspect them more closely. Alright, let's see what we can discover. Pipe.
Oh, gee.
This is a document of some kind.
What are we looking at here? Presidential security plan? It's a diagram of the president's security arrangements.
It shows how the president's bodyguards were positioned.
It even has people's names on it. Rook and Knight.
So his bodyguards aren't natives of Zhengfa. I heard he uses some private security firm. But why not employ people from his own country? I know why not. You want to hear a little Tabby Lord exclusive? You really know something? Sure I do. I was over at their embassy not so long ago back at... Why sure I do. I was over at their embassy not so long ago, sniffing out a story. While I'm there, one of my sources tell me that the president's got more enemies than you got hairs on your head, including a bunch of bigwigs in the National Police Force. Interesting. So he's unable to trust his own domestic law enforcement. I wonder if one of these enemies could have been behind the attempt on his life.
What was it doing dumped in there in that bag?
You raise an interesting point. It's a document relating to a matter of national security. It would surely be highly classified.
Huh? Hey, there's something else in here. What?
My.
What's a gun doing there? Sir, this bag! It's gotta belong to the...
Yes, it could well have been disposed of by our would-be assassin. A revolver. Would have taken a lot of nerve to dump it here amid the chaos. Could this be the work of a professional?
That would explain the security plan, too!
I think we need to take a very close look at our latest find. Okay. Check the chamber for how many bullets were fired. 2 spent bullets in the cylinder, matching the 2 gunshots heard of the recording.
That proves it! This must be the weapon that was used!
There's also a laser pointer that... laser pointer. This is a laser sight.
It can be lined up with the target to make aiming a little easier. If I press this here... Yup! Definitely a red laser!
Could the assassin have used laser sight to target the president?
That bag was a real find, huh? Just goes to show, a bag in the hand is worth 2 in the trash.
Nice work, Detective. Now, there's something else I'd like to ask of you, if you don't mind. I need to take the bag and gun to forensics and see if they can find any fingerprints.
On it, sir!
A good set of fingerprints could really help this investigation along.
Got the results for you, sir!
Well, that was quick.
You bet it was. Told the text it was ultra super high priority. But, they came up empty.
And they checked everywhere?
Inside and outside, top to bottom, sir. They even took out the bullets and dusted them.
I should have known it wouldn't have been that easy. And the television truck appears to be stuck in the mud.
Might be time I pushed your car to that ditch, sir. And you just drove away and left me there. Gotta admit, it felt kinda lonely.
Did I do that? I think I might have. Bro, what is the matter with you? Look, man, no, come on.
You came back though, Mr. Edgeworth. Only left me in the mud for maybe 15 minutes? I know you never forget about me, sir.
Of course I wouldn't. Barring those 15 minutes anyways. Bro, come on. Okay, talk to Tabby next. About the incident. You say you attended today's ceremony in order to gather material for an article of some kind. Why, you bet I did. It ain't the kind of thing that happens every day. And when did the ceremony begin? Right after the rain had stopped. We got lucky. It was raining all morning before that. Anyhow, the president's plane touched down right around 1:45. And then the speech started out 2 on the nose. And what about the shooting? It must have been maybe like 20 after. So 20 minutes after the ceremony began. Why, yes! Shots rang out, 10 through the air that only moments before could have been alive with cheers. Then, tragedy! The president dropped to the floor, fell by an unknown assassin's bullet. It's 2:25 p.m. on March 25th, and I've been reporting to you live from the scene here at Gourd Lake. What was that all about? Sorry, just making some voice notes. Gotta get those ideas down the second they come into the old noggin, you know? It ain't every day you get to report on the assassination of a president, after all. It's dramatic. It's emotional. It's got everything I need to write an article that puts readers right there on the scene. And did the president really drop to the floor?
Officers on the scene said his bodyguards escorted him straight onto the presidential plane.
Hey, y'all can't blame me for getting a little carried away now, can ya? I better take any testimony she gives with a good-sized pinch of salt. Stop it! Calling me a reporter and all. It's kind of weird when somebody else says it. Still, though, tabloid reporter at large. Does have kind of a nice ring to it, don't you think? But you are a reporter, correct? Why, I sure am. A reporter in training. What? Have you even had any articles published? Fix and look up my work, huh? Well, that might be a little tricky. And yet you call yourself a reporter nonetheless? Why, soon will be, won't I? This right here is a big old scoop. No mistake about it. And I got the whole thing on tape. Didn't miss a second. And it's all thanks to my trusty mic and even my trustier tape machine. I'm about to set the journalistic world on fire, just like my mentor before me. You know the Chief Bethels? My mentor, my inspiration? No, but you have mentioned her, repeatedly. Oh, now did I? Can't rightly say I remember. What kind of reporter forgets a thing like that? Well, it's just like the chief always says. You gotta treat information as irresponsibly as you can. And what kind of mentor says that? Oh, why, you should have heard her the day she gave me this here tape machine. You be sure and bag yourself the juiciest, sleaziest scoops you can now, you hear? Wonderful. So you're the kind of reporter who sees fire even under the faintest trace of smoke. Nah. I'm the kind of reporter who puffs on the fire till the smoke chokes you. How is that any better? Okay, what else am I missing? Was there something over here? I gotta remember. I'm trying to remember, like, now. The TV guy, maybe? Oh, man. The lens is cracked. What am I gonna do, dude? The circuit board's hanging out. The whole thing's spitting sparks. It's like a fireworks show in there. Probably not a good idea to touch it, I guess. Definitely not. Fireworks can be deadly. Right, sir? This isn't exactly rocket science, Detective. The cameraman is clearly otherwise occupied. Perhaps I can talk to him later. What am I missing? Not the flag on the ground. Stage? This wooden sign almost looks brand new. Imagine it was placed here recently. What's it say? 50 yards to the Gordy Museum and 70 yards to the... never mind. What's the matter, Detective? Just read it, will you? 70 yards to the boathouse. It feels like a million years since that whole sorry affair unfolded. Fond memories, Detective. Yeah, fond memories, sir. Is a trophy for that? Okay, no, that's funny. That's funny. Oh. Wait, what am I missing?
Now, this is quite the situation, wouldn't you say, Mr. Edgeworth?
Who is he again?
It's Payne, Mr. Edgeworth. Winston Payne. We work together at the prosecutor's office.
He's a prosecutor? What brings you here today, Mr. Payne?
What indeed? Why, only the invitation of the chief prosecutor himself.
His voice. I recognize it from the tape recording. Was he one of the men that was standing in front of Miss Lloyd? And where is the chief prosecutor?
He had to leave, I'm afraid. He's a busy man. They let him, and only him, out through the corridor.
So he had me summoned on short notice, and then left before I even showed up? Rude. Wait, what else am I missing? You're with one of the news channels. Yep. Can I help you? You must have footage of the event. Do you mind if I take a look? Wish I could help you, dude, but that might be a little tricky. Hey, why's that, pal? You got a problem with doing your civic duty or something? No, dude. Just that my camera's knocked over in all the panic. And now I can't get it to work. That footage would have helped immensely. Just our luck. Ha 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 ha! Ha ha ha! What the? You look like you need a little help, Mr. Edgeworth. I know that voice. Ha ha! The best character. Let's go. Kay. Honestly, I leave you alone for 2 seconds. But don't worry, your hero's here to save the day. That's right, the one, the only, Kay Faraday. Hero? Only you would give yourself a title like that. So, you're not a great thief anymore? Well, not right now, but it's not like I quit. I'm just on sabbatical. That's not a... Bro, why is this translation changing? Bro, there's literally... Kay would never use this word. I'm just gonna say it right now. I'm taking time out for some intensive training. Being the second Yatagarasu doesn't come easy. Kay helped me on a few occasions about 2 weeks ago when I was working on a case. The case of the Yatagarasu, a mysterious thief who seemed to appear and disappear at will, and who claimed to only steal the truth. She calls herself the second Yatagarasu, the successor to the so-called Great Thief. There's not a lock I can't open or a trap I can't escape. And when it comes to stealing, well, I'm still in training, but I'll get there soon enough. What are you doing here, Kay? What do you think I'm doing? I've been enjoying the festivities, of course. I suppose she did mention being fond of such things. And afterwards, I was thinking of dropping by your office to see you guys. But now I don't have to.
Good to see you, kiddo. You're as bright and breezy as ever.
Hey, Gummy, how you been? You're looking pretty full of beans yourself. So, Kay, are you really here to save the day? Yup! Prepare for your jaw to hit the floor. Your best pal in the world here only went and took pictures of the whole shebang. Did you now? Well, then you better show them to me. Wow, your jaw didn't even drop an inch. What's a girl got to do to impress you, huh? I know, right? Mr. Prosecutor here, about as much as fun as a dang toothache. Won't even let me call him Chief. Oh, but I'm forgetting my manners. Name's Tabby Lloyd, ace reporter at your service. Nice to meet you, Tabby. You're right, he's no fun at all. This one time You two can chat later. Okay, can I see those pictures, please? Boo! Fine, here. I took this one right when the gun went off. It was total chaos. People running everywhere. The president has 2 bodyguards. The names of the security plan were Knight and Rook, I think. What's that? Thank you indeed, Kay. I think you've provided us with a vital clue. Woo-wee! Your eyes lit up like a pair of dang Christmas trees. Well, Mr. Edgeworth, can I tell the readers what you spotted? A contradiction. Huh? A what now? I don't see nothing strange. Allow me to show you. This picture shows the moment of the incident, but there's another evidence that shows something different. I need to highlight the point of contradiction, and then employ my powers of deduction. First, to find the contradiction in the photograph. Yes, this is it. I'll simply press triangle to make my deduction. Now, to present the evidence that proves the contradiction. Well, that would be the gun, because... wait. Eureka! What? It's wrong because the health bar is still there. Why? Oh my god, dude. Sometimes this game really loves to pull shenanigans like this. Look closely at this picture of the president in this newspaper clipping, if you would, Miss Lloyd. Now, look at Kay's photograph. Compare the two carefully. Huh? What am I looking for here? Well, I'll be. Indeed, there's something on the president's forehead. Something that wasn't there in the other picture. Dude, it's fucking obvious what it is. I don't need to sidestep or... okay.
What's that? Some kind of birthmark?
Yeah, guy's got a big red birthmark, but... oh, you guys are so stupid! We literally just ran up pistol with the whatever. Yeah, guy's got a big red birthmark right in the middle of his forehead. I highly doubt a birthmark just sprang up there since the other picture was taken.
Did he get bitten by a bug then, maybe?
Yeah, that's it. That right there is a big old bug bite. And here I thought it was something important. The look on your face. You should know the road to the truth is paved with such seemingly trivial details. Ooh, again with that face. All right. Duly noted, Chief. Okay, well, so stupid. I'm just stupid, by the way. I have solved the mystery of the red birthmark.
Really? So it wasn't a bug bite?
No, what we're dealing with isn't something that would itch for a day then disappear. It is, in fact, a beam of a laser sight.
Then our killer was able to shoot the president square in the forehead?
And shortly after this picture was taken, a second shot rang out.
Yeah, that's gonna do more than itch.
Indeed, I fear the president may be even more danger than we thought. And the gun we found was the weapon used in the crime.
Why would the perp use a laser sight, though?
He's right. You'd stand like crazy using something like that. Pew, 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 pew! It's like you can just go around shooting lasers all over the place. No, and anyone who saw it could trace it right back to the shooter.
Seems like a pretty bad idea all around.
Oh, I almost forgot. I took a couple more pictures. Maybe the laser sight's in one of them. It's a long shot, but it's worth a look at least. Alright, Kay, let's see these other pictures. Yes, sir! Right away, sir! Let's see. First up, here's one I took just before everything started going south. It might be more useful to us if half the frame wasn't taken up with your face. Hey, can you blame me for wanting to get a selfie with the president? Honestly, I can see why Kay would think that. Honestly would. It's not every day you get that a chance. Lucky for you, this is right before the gun went off. And this one I showed you before is from just after the first shot was fired. The second shot came after this. Then there's... What's this? I can hardly see anything. I got knocked over and everyone started running right after that last picture. Guess I must have pressed the shutter by accident.
Not sure this one's gonna be much use, kid.
And that's all of them. Time to take a closer look. Let's examine the picture from before the shooting. Is there any hint of the laser sight here in this picture? Why, yes, there is.
Take that!
There, I see it!
Was it, sir?
Look closely at the person with the red hood. Whoa, there it is! Indeed, that's our laser sight right there.
So that's our perp! The one in the red hood must be...
The shooter, yes. We found them, all thanks to yours truly. Indeed, you led us right to the greatest treasure of all, Miss Great Thief, the truth. You may have captured a would-be assassin in one of your other pictures too. Let's take another look. Our red-hooded suspect could be in another one of these photos from after the shooting. I remember this. Is the person with the red hood in here somewhere? Yes, they are.
Take that!
Look, right there! A red jacket. That may be our suspect.
Looks like they took advantage of the confusion to make their getaway.
Luckily, we can see exactly where they were headed. Ah, the samurai dog stand! Precisely, which means they escaped towards the right-hand side of the spectator area. Detective Gumshoe.
On it, sir! Consider it cleared!
Good, I'm counting on you. We have you now, my little Red Riding Hood. The entire park is cordoned off, and we know which way you went. Now it's simply a matter of hunting you down. Now, let us continue our investigation. There's evidence somewhere. All we have to do is find it. Alright. So the stand itself. I must scour the scene and inspect anything that catches my attention. They've removed the nook and cranny line! Why? Why, official localization, did you remove the nook and cranny line? Okay, button. What's this?
A red button! Hey, do you think...
Could it have been dropped by a red-hooded suspect? Well, it certainly seems likely. And under here? There's something red down there. Detective Gumshoe, can you see what is under the stand, please?
There's something down here, alright. Let's see.
A red raincoat! This must be the one the suspect was wearing. They must have taken off and hid it under there before they made their escape. Now, hang on a minute here. There's blood on that sleeve. The sleeve, it's inside out. The button is missing too. Now, logic time! The button we found seems to have come from this raincoat. It must have been pulled loose when the killer took it off.
Huh, the right sleeve's inside out too.
It seems it was. Bah. It seems it was removed in a hurry, fast enough to tear off a button, no less. I surmise our assassin disposed of their gun and bag in the trash immediately after shooting the president. Then, they slipped into the panicked crowd and moved from the left to the right side of the spectator area. This was because they knew the trajectory of the bullet would point to a shooter on the left side. Finally, they removed the raincoat and hid it under the samurai dog stand. The killer would have needed to get rid of the coat as soon as possible, hence its hurried removal. The fact that the right sleeve is inside out is a testament to how quickly it was taken off.
Yup, that and the missing button.
The question, of course, is, why didn't the same thing happen to the left sleeve?
Oh yeah, only the right sleeve is inside out.
Indeed, and the button on the left side of the sleeve is still securely attached.
So, what does this mean, Mr. Edgeworth?
If we're to answer the question, Detective, we'll need to inspect the raincoat itself in more detail. Let's take a closer look at the inside of the raincoat. Detective Gumshoe.
Yes, sir!
There's our answer. This is a blood stain. And considering where it's located, I say the blood belongs to our would-be assassin.
So we're looking with someone with an injury?
Not just any injury, Detective. An injury on their left arm.
Huh? How do we know that?
It's simple. The right sleeve is inside out, suggesting the suspect removed their raincoat in a hurry. Conversely, the left sleeve, as we'd expect to be. Therefore, the suspect's left arm was never in the sleeve in the first place. And once we understand that, everything else falls into place. Now, Detective, there's a blood stain on the left side lining of the raincoat because
the suspect's arm was too injured to fit through the sleeve.
Precisely. Or at least we can say there is a good probability that was the case. Now, I gotta say right now, when I saw this next character, I was very surprised on my first playthrough, considering I thought this character was actually forgotten about since JFA. But this case reintroduces, hands down, the most successful, and I do mean successful, Ace Attorney culprit in the franchise. Legitimately. If you play the games, you know exactly who I'm talking about. The pieces are starting to fall into place. Investigation complete. Give me that health back. Detective Gumshoe, I need you to go and search the crowd for likely suspects.
Yes, sir! Suspicious characters with injured left arms, coming right up!
Wow, you're even smarter than you look, Ruffles! Taking all them itty-bitty pieces and putting them together like that. You'll have your man in no time. That's Mr. Edgeworth for you. The park is still cordoned off, so our would-be assassin should be in the crowd somewhere. Don't let me down, Detective Gumshoe. Again, I was really surprised this character made a return, considering I genuinely thought after JFA he was forgotten about. March 25th, 3:27 p.m., Gourd Lake, spectator area.
Mr. Edgeworth, we found someone who fits the bill perfectly, sir!
Way to nab the assassin, Gummy! Hold on, Kay. It's a little soon to be jumping to conclusions. For the moment, they are a person of interest and nothing more. Understood? Okay, no jumping.
But he's our shooter, sir!
Bah!
But he's our shooter, sir, and I'm sure of it! He's the guy who tried to take out the president!
In broad daylight, surrounded by a crowd of witnesses. This is no ordinary assassin. Bring him over here, detective. Carefully.
Yes, sir! Come on, boys! You heard Mr. Edgeworth!
You'll recognize this guy anywhere. I was so surprised when they brought this guy back. No umbrella, and a bandage on his left arm.
Well, pal, say your name already!
Gotta get my gentlemanly voice. Doe. John Doe. Charmed, I'm sure. John Doe? Not a name you hear often in real life.
That's correct.
I know this man from somewhere, I'm sure of it.
And you must be a Prosecutor Edgeworth.
You know my name?
Of course. I have been following the day's developments with some interest. Now, perhaps you'd care to explain why you've asked to speak with me?
As you've been following our investigation, you're no doubt already aware of who we're looking for. So, let me ask you, do you recognize this raincoat by any chance?
Forgive me, but I'm afraid I do not.
I see. Well, I believe its owner to be the would-be assassin we are seeking.
My. Well, isn't that just shocking?
And the same would-be assassin happens to have an injured left arm. Just like you.
Well, all I can tell you is that I had nothing to do with this unfortunate affair.
The two adversaries stare each other down, their eyes like deadly lasers. Care to tell the readers what happens next?
A showdown, that's what! A battle of wits! A battle of words!
Dare I let him explain any further what he thinks the upcoming battle will entail? Why not?
In a battle of wits, you never know if or when the other guy might be lying or just plain mistaken. But if you spot inconsistency in a statement of theirs, you gotta present the evidence that proves it.
And to do that, I'll first need to open my organizer with R1, and then press triangle to present my evidence. And what if there's no inconsistencies to find, though?
Then you gotta change tack, press for more information, and see what you can shake loose.
Indeed, I can press my opponent with the L1 button.
Why don't you show us how it's done, Mr. Edgeworth?
Stepping up to bat, our nation's top prosecutor. Once I'm able to quietly gather my thoughts, yes.
Let's go. The first cross-examination, Doe's deposition. I can understand why whoever wore the raincoat would be of interest to you. But you have no proof this person is injured, as you claim. My left arm might be injured, but I can still use my right arm. When it started raining, I simply opened my umbrella. No raincoat required.
So you contend that you were not wearing a raincoat, is that correct?
It is. And is that so strange? Not everyone wears one, after all. I happen to prefer an umbrella.
Team Raincoat over here, they're perfect for when a girl really needs to move. Heck, I don't use neither. Come rain, sleet, snow, or shine, it's my trusty parka every time. Not exactly the line of inquiry I was hoping to pursue.
So, as you can see, I am not your would-be killer, Sir Edgeworth.
And I'm not in the habit of making baseless accusations, Mr. Doe. Please, I am just a simple ice cream Ooh. Forgive me. My wound seems to have begun bleeding again in all the excitement. The owner of the raincoat is definitely our assassin. And said owner also has an injured left arm. I'm on to you, Mr. Doe. It's only a matter of time. I gotta say right now, such a good way to open the case. Again, having a successful culprit from a previous game appear in case 1, that's an eye-opener. And honestly, who could blame you for thinking this is the resolution to this guy, if you know who he is? Okay, so anyways. I do have proof. The bloodstain. You seem like a careful man, Mr. Doe. But not quite careful enough. After all, you left something behind. Something of vital importance. Oh my god, I love this objection theme so much. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. God, no, this theme is so good. Honestly, it's in contention for my favorite objection theme. Anyways, we'll jam to the music later. But not quite careful enough. After all, you left something important behind. But not quite careful enough. After all, you left something behind. Something of vital importance. I'm afraid you must have me confused with somebody else. The code does not belong to me. Or do you claim to have some kind of proof to support your accusation? Your arm isn't troubling you too much, I hope. Your wound seems to be bleeding again. I'll survive. Although, I can't pretend it's not something of an inconvenience, Sir Edgeworth. You have my deepest sympathies. Because if it wasn't bleeding quite so badly, you could have perhaps made a clean getaway. What exactly are you insinuating? As we've already established, whoever wore the raincoat is injured. And now, I can prove that person was you. With this decisive piece of evidence. The ice cream is sweating. I love that detail. You see, Mr. Doe, there's a small amount of blood on the inside of this raincoat. Blood that belongs to our assassin. Again, a rare time where you see this guy lose his cool. Attempted murder of a foreign leader, causing a diplomatic incident, they'll throw the book at you! You can give us the silent treatment all you like, but we don't need you to talk. A simple blood test will give us the answer we require. All it takes for us is to compare the blood on your bandages with the coat, and that will be that. We have the evidence. Why don't you make it easier for all of us and come clean? Admit you're the one who attempted to assassinate the president of Zhangfa. I am not your assassin, Sir Edgeworth. You're stubborn, I'll give you that. But if this were a game of chess, you would already be in checkmate. Now do the honorable thing and admit defeat! He doesn't look like a man with no moves left to play. Very well then, you have me. I'll admit it, I was wearing the raincoat. He confessed! Say the word and I'll slap the cuffs on him right now! But I did not shoot at the president. What? Mr. Edgeworth, the only thing you have proven is that I was wearing a particular raincoat. And as far as I'm aware, that is not a crime. Doe's Deposition Part 2. I am no assassin. I am a simple ice cream salesman. One who happened to be wearing a red raincoat while watching the president speak. I was surprised as anyone else when his bodyguards sprang into action and the shots rang out. That's when the suspect...
That's when the spectators panicked and started running and screaming for their lives. Now, are you finally satisfied that I'm telling you the truth, good sir?
As if your story stinks! You don't scare me. The evidence is on our side, you know? Look, it's right there, plain as day. The assassin, and they're wearing a red raincoat.
Intriguing, but that is not me.
Oh, come on!
Tell me, Mr. Edgeworth, do you really think I was the only one in the entire park wearing a red raincoat today?
I do, actually. But then why? Why does he seem so sure of himself?
Hold it!
So, you saw the bodyguards move before you heard the gunshots?
Why, yes, if I recall correctly, the good gentleman moved first. At least, the one on the left did.
You're rather observant, Mr. Doe.
Well, I am blessed with keen eyes. The names
of the bodyguards were written in the top left corner of the security plan. And the one on the left was...
Rook. That's correct. Bastion Rook, I believe. I expect he noticed the light from the laser sight. The man is no amateur.
Mr. Doe knows a little too much about the business of being a bodyguard for my liking. I'd say our friend here is no amateur either. I'd like you to append what you just said to your testimony if you don't mind.
Well, as you wish. The bodyguard on the left, good Sir Bastion Rook, was it? Was especially quick to respond.
Now, how did he know his first name? As I suspected, you are more than what you claim to be, Mr. Doe.
You overestimate me, good Sir Edgeworth.
Oh, then tell me how a simple ice cream salesman knows one of the presidential bodyguard's names.
What? You jest, surely. You were the one who spoke their names aloud. Rook and Knight, was it?
We only know the names thanks to the security plan. But look closely, only their surnames appear. Also, God, this pursuit theme. Okay, I won't jam to the music, but still. Yet, we all clearly heard you say the name Bastion Rook. How did you come to possess such How did you come to possess such information? Information we ourselves didn't have?
Seems pretty darn suspicious to me!
Well, how did you know? Explain yourself!
It was merely a slip of the tongue.
Another lie! He is the assassin, just like we said! Come now, miss. It's a little soon to be jumping to such conclusions.
I did know their names, yes, and the reason for that is... Well, I know Mr. Rook. He and I are acquainted.
What?
We have something of a connection. And his is a name I could not forget.
You think we're stupid, pal? Stop lying!
I am not lying. I am, as I have always been, a simple ice cream salesman. And an acquaintance of Bastion Rook, yes.
And I suppose Mr. Rook will confirm that? It should be easy enough for him to remember his good friend, the slippery ice cream salesman, correct?
Please, you are more than welcome to ask him, although I think it might be rather difficult for him right now. I would imagine he's rather busy ensuring the president's safety. But suppose you are able to speak with him, and he does deny that he and I are acquainted. How would that help you prove I was the shooter?
If you weren't the shooter, why take off your raincoat?
Because it was no longer raining. In fact, it had grown quite warm. Far better to let my wound breathe, no? Or would you rather I let it fester?
Is he actually going to worm his way out of this?
What are you waiting for, Mr. Edgeworth? Hurry up and arrest that man. He's clearly guilty. If I were you, he'd be in jail already.
You might be willing to arrest a man without sufficient proof, but I'm not. No! Come on, Mr. Edgeworth! There's gotta be something you can do! Shocking scene here, as the culprit seems all but certain to escape justice.
It seems the court of public opinion has spoken. Very well. As I will clearly be viewed with suspicion no matter what I say, I may as well share what I know.
What you know? What's his angle here?
I saw them. I saw another person with a red raincoat. What? Are you kidding?
It's the person you captured in your photograph.
I first noticed them just before the president's speech began. It was still raining then. Their outfit was the same color as my own, which is what drew my attention, good sir.
What of his orb? It's funny because I'm giving her the Southern Particio voice. Arrow of fortune. I can't let you do that, Mr. Rock. Anyways.
As did the laser beam that was aimed directly at the president's head.
He's claiming there was another red-hooded person? Preposterous!
I knew that if anyone saw me dressed similarly to this individual, I could fall under suspicion myself. And so, naturally, I removed my raincoat.
So not only did you see the assassin, but they were wearing the exact same thing as you? It's so big. Dude, honestly, I'm so glad you convinced me to play this game. I cannot wait for Astro to play it, considering I gave him the money for that. But he's doing pinball. One of these days, he'll play. It's on his backlogs. Anyways. So not only did you see the assassin, but they were wearing the exact same thing as you? How very convenient.
I had thought you might find it far-fetched. Hence my not mentioning it until now. I know you law enforcement people are very skeptical types. You would have never believed me. Especially not if I had said that the shooter was standing right next to a certain prosecutor.
Well, I know you don't mean me. I wasn't even summoned until after the shooting.
No, not you, Sir Edgeworth. Your colleague over there, that fine gentleman.
Huh? Me?
Yes, the photograph will prove it, I'm sure. You see, right here, in front of the person with the red hood.
Well, that's me, yes, but what exactly are you saying?
What's his endgame here?
As I mentioned, I've been following your investigation with some interest, good Sir Edgeworth. And while pondering the details, I noticed something strange.
Strange? What exactly?
Come now, a man of your talent should be more than capable of spotting a contradiction such as this.
I'm afraid I don't follow. The picture shows the chief prosecutor, Mr. Payne, and the shooter. But there's nothing weird about that, is there?
Think very carefully now. This picture was taken right in the middle of the president's speech. One of the other pieces of evidence you gathered is inconsistent with One of the other pieces of evidence you've gathered is inconsistent with what we see here.
What is Mr. Doe talking about? Which piece of evidence is inconsistent with this picture? Where's Tabby? Ah, of course! The tape! It contradicts the photograph!
Ah, so you've noticed at last.
What's he going on about, Mr. Edgeworth? Someone's missing. Someone who should be here. Huh? But who?
Who indeed?
The person who's missing with this photograph is...
Take that!
Huh?
Miss Lloyd?
How do you figure that? Mr. Payne's voice can be clearly heard on Miss Lloyd's tape, considering that he was conducting a private conversation with the chief prosecutor. Oh, there were these two old guys standing right there in front of me. They was whispering away to each other the whole darn time. She must have been very close indeed to capture it on tape. You're right, but she's not in the picture. Bless me. Precisely. Well then, good Sir Edgeworth. Do you still believe that you've been hounding the right person? Miss Lloyd, would you mind answering a few questions? Well, y'all fixing to put me under the microscope now? All right, sure. Knock yourselves out. I got nothing to hide. Miss Lloyd's testimony. It ain't like I was staring still the whole time. Nah, I was running all over, roving reporter style, and that was a big old crowd. Guess the picture must have been taken while I was in one spot, and the tape's from when I was in another. So quit giving me an evil eye. You ain't got nothing. It's just a misunderstanding. There's no doubt about the voices on the tape. That was Mr. Payne and the chief prosecutor, I'm certain of it. Tabby wouldn't lie to us. I know she wouldn't. But if she did, that would mean...
Then she's our perp!
Will y'all quit messing around with me? As if I could have done a thing like that. Little old me? I might be inclined to believe you if your testimony didn't contain a glaring inconsistency. It does? I thought it was pretty good. Seems like I have no choice but to present her with the evidence and expose the contradiction. Miss Lloyd's testimony. Alright.
Hold it!
So, the facts are that you are not in the picture is to be expected. Is that what you're trying to tell us? It surely is. I caught your pals, the prosecutors, on tape while I was in one part of the crowd. And then their picture was snapped all was off in someplace else. Look at it that way, and it all makes perfect sense. Your assertion, then, is that the picture and your recording were taken at different points in the speech? Yep, timing's everything. You'll learn that soon in this line of work. So if I can prove that the two things did happen at the same time, her entire defense will come tumbling down. That's right. Because this right here... Yep.
Objection!
Miss Lloyd, it's imperative for a reporter not to lie, wouldn't you say? You're darn right it is, and I don't lie. And yet the photograph and recording were definitely taken at the same time. What? Y'all can't prove that. Oh, but I can. The evidence is right here in these pictures. This one in particular shows something that lines up precisely when you were making your recording. What part of the picture indicates it must have been taken at the same time as Miss Lloyd's recording, though? What's the president raising his fists in the air?
Take that!
See here, the president has his fist raised. And? What about it? Would you be as so kind as to play the tape again? No, see, it ain't that simple. What if I were to tell you that you don't have a choice? You don't make it easy, do you, Ruffles? Remember, we are concerned with the moment the president raised his fist.
No criminal organization, no matter how big, is above the law!
The president thrust his fist into the air as the excitement reaches fever pitch.
There! That's the moment right there!
Correct. We've now confirmed when it occurred in the recording. Which means Tabby should be here in the picture too. And she is, right there for all to see. For Miss Lloyd is in fact the person with the red hood. What?
So you're a shooter, huh?
No, I'm... I don't even own a jacket like that! That's right. From everything we know, the owner of the red raincoat is... neither of them. Oh, whoops. Whoops. Jesus! So I'm gonna read this. My. Remind me, how long have you been working as a prosecutor, Sir Edgeworth? Jesus! Okay, no, he's right. It is Mr. Doe's because it has the bloodstain in it. We've already proven that the red raincoat belongs to Mr. Doe. You, Miss Lloyd, were wearing something else. Something that also happened to have a red hood. So there were two people with hoods all along? Indeed. Mr. Doe's last statement was true. Wait, but we only found one raincoat. Where's the other one? Our ice cream salesman never mentioned a raincoat, only a red hood. So tell us about your jacket again, Miss Lloyd. Huh? This whole thing? Well, the best thing about it, like I said, is if you get mud and such on it, it's reversible, see? So you just turn inside out and... Eek! Just as I thought. The inside of her hood, it's red! That's right, and when the incident occurred, that side of the hood was visible. What's going on here? What were you really up to, huh? Wait! I never even wore it that way around, Perhaps if you'd allow us to examine it, we could confirm that for ourselves. And y'all gonna confirm that how exactly? It was raining right up until the president's speech, correct? That much has been established already. And as of yourself said... Heck, I don't use neither. Come rain, sleet, snow, or shine, it's my trusted parka every time. If you haven't reversed your parka since the rain, then the inside should be dry. Wait a sec now. I got this big old backpack, you see, so I can't take off my jacket. Yeah. Maybe I could show y'all some other time?
You think an excuse like that is gonna wish-wash that? You think an excuse that weak is gonna wash with Mr. Edgeworth?
Aw.
Well, what are you waiting for? If you're innocent, take it off and show us!
It wasn't me, I swear. I never shot the dang president. I could never. If that's true, Miss Lloyd, then your best option is to cooperate and tell us the truth. Is there a particular reason why you chose to wear a parka with a red hood here today? I'm sorry, Ruffles. Something I ever told you. Something I couldn't. But I'll come clean, I promise. Just go on easy. Just go easy on me now, you hear? What? Who said that? I gotta get my Horace Knightley, or Bronco Knight voice. Okay, it was like,
you're packing some real serious heat.
Okay.
Oh dear horses, a little soon for the end game.
Yes, I'm gonna be using the same voice I used in my original video 8 years ago. I just can't imagine it with any other voice.
That goes for you too, Mr. Prosecutor. You lost this one the moment you made your opening move.
That's one of the men from Kay's photograph.
Yes, I better introduce myself.
Whee! Doink.
Name's Bronco Knight. I'm the president's personal bodyguard. And second in command of his security detail. Eek!
Point that thing someplace else, pal! What the heck's wrong with you?
Sorry, can't help myself. It's just too much fun being this good.
You're not a member of law enforcement, so how did you get a gun?
This all girls alone from Zangfa, temporarily issued to us presidential bodyguards. Anyway, never mind that. I got 2 tidbits of news for you. You want the good news or the bad news first? Choice is yours.
I'm indifferent. Whichever you prefer.
Really? You get out the first move advantage just like that? Whatever, your loss. Guess I'll push out the first pawn then.
So, you play a little chess, I take it.
Ah, a fellow fan, aren't you, Mr. Red Suit?
The name's Edgeworth, and you could say I dabble.
Duly noted, Mr. Edgeworth. Alright, I'll start with the good news. The president's okay. Didn't suffer so much as a scratch.
He didn't? That's a relief!
Particularly for the young lady here. That means there's no longer a murder charge on the table. That is good news, huh, Tabby? Yeah, 'cause I'd never.
Now for the bad news. The only reason the president's alive is because we bodyguards did our job. Well, one of us did anyhow. Our boss. Put himself in the line of fire.
You're referring to your colleague, Mr. Rook?
Yeah, it's game over for him.
Uh-oh, that's not good.
No way!
Rook is dead. A genuine loss. So, you're saying that Tabby?
Yeah, your friend here killed my colleague, my brother in arms.
Oh, heck no! I didn't do it! I didn't kill anybody! I could never!
I'd shut my mouth if I were you, murderer. Sure, we did what we had to, sacrifice one of our pieces to protect the king. But to lose someone like him during a castling, it's a real shame.
Castling? What's that even mean, sir?
It's a chess term. Very simplistically speaking, it's a move where a rook switches places with the king.
Then why didn't you say so?
Mr. Knight, was it?
Yeah, what?
We need to see the victim's body right away. And if possible, I'd like to ask the president a few questions.
Sorry, no can do.
Why not?
That's the third piece of information, and it's the piece you're gonna like the least.
I thought you said there were only two.
The National Police of Zhangfa will be handling things from here.
What?
You better be kidding, pal!
This investigation was assigned to us. We're not about to hand it over.
You're the Edgeworth, right? The one who solved the Yadagarasu case? The president mentioned you.
I'm honored to have wanted his attention.
Makes sense that the chief prosecutor would sign this one to you.
Wait, did the chief assign me to appease the president?
But that was a mistake. A big one. You should have given the case to somebody with a spine. You're free to take it up with the president, Mr. Wang, if you enjoy diplomatic incidents, that is. Arr! You're coming with me. We'll continue this on the presidential plane.
No. I never did nothing, I swear.
We can do this the hard way if you like, but in Zhangfa, justice is served one way or the other.
Ruffles, come on! You gotta help me out here, please! Miss Lloyd? She was the one in the red hood, there's no denying that now. But I can't help but feel like we still don't know the whole truth behind this case. I'm innocent! You gotta believe me! Can I really let this happen? Is this really how it ends? Look in her eyes. The crack in her voice as she begs me to help her. This is no act by a criminal. She's genuinely scared. And if I let him take her, we'll never know what really happened. Eek! What? Huh? What the? Get your filthy hands off of... Quiet now. Is that really any way to greet me? Your neck has barely begun to heal, and you've already forgotten who I am. I'm disappointed. What? It's you! Ah, so you do remember.
What do you think you're doing, pal? Put the knife down and give up! You got some nerve pulling a stunt like this in front of a bunch of police officers!
Don't even think about it! You don't stand a chance against this guy! Who are you really, Mr. Doe?
Let's just say, I'm no simple ordinary ice cream salesman, young lady.
Guy's a pro! A hitman! His name's... Shelly the Killer!
Tequila?
There's not a legal professional in the country who doesn't know that name. An assassin capable of taking down any target, any place, any time. This isn't the first time our paths have crossed.
It's been too long, Sir Edgeworth. But of course, this is the first time we've met face to face.
You're the assassin we've been looking for?
In a sense, yes. A certain someone did indeed hire me to carry out a contract. And that contract did indeed specify that I was to assassinate President Wang.
I swear I've seen this picture in one of my old files before, but... how could I have been so careless?
My bandage proved useful for bringing a knife into the park undetected. But I miscalculated certain other regards.
He didn't bring a gun?
Now, shall we play a game, Mr. Knight? I know how fond you are of such diversions. The stakes must be high, of course, in order for it to be fun. Of course, let's see. Shall we wager, say, your life?
What the hell do you want from me?
I would like for you to allow good Sir Edgeworth to remain in charge of this case.
He what? What are you up to, Killer?
I would simply like our mutual friend to see things through to their conclusion.
Huh? But why?
Bastion Rook was a man of great skill, one with whom I felt a certain connection. It is only right the truth behind his death be brought to light. With Mr. Rook's departure, the case is now yours to investigate, is it not, good Sir Knight? I'm simply asking you to transfer that authority to Mr. Edgeworth. It's not something worth losing your life over, surely.
You're just using the investigation as an excuse to get close to the president!
Am I really? I suppose it is true in order for the investigation to proceed. We will need to enter the presidential plane.
You think I'm gonna let you near him? I'm his chief bodyguard!
Are you now? And here I thought you were only second in command.
Rook's not around! That means I'm number one!
I wonder if you have what it takes to step into such capable shoes.
You! Of course I do! I'm the leader now! Me!
If that is indeed the case, then I would ask you to make a choice worthy of a leader. Will you needlessly throw away your life, or will you allow the investigation to continue, Sir Knight?
Is he really doing this to gain access to the president? Does he even need to? What is he plotting?
You have no objections, I trust, good Sir Edgeworth. Come, let us continue the investigation.
What do we do, sir? It would seem we have a little choice but to do as we're told. That said, listen, detective, and listen well. I'll buy some time as I investigate. Meanwhile, you gather the other officers. Have them surround the plane and make absolutely certain there's no way he can escape.
Yes, sir. You got it.
Bro, again, what a way to open case one. Honestly, I was at the edge of my seat first time playing this. And it's case one. It's case one. Get some water really quickly here. Backies. Okay, hang on one second. Audio check. Backies. Okay, good. With the death of Bastion Rook and the revelation that Shelley the Killer was in our midst, the case had taken a turn we could have never predicted. Mr. Knight ordered the door to the presidential plane be opened, and the emergency personnel attending to Mr. Rook's body were asked to leave. With the scene cleared, we stepped cautiously aboard. March 25th, 4:15 p.m., Zhengfa, presidential plane. No president in sight. Now where could he be?
Who knows?
So he's hiding behind the bulkheaded door over there, is he? As courageous in the face of danger as ever.
Ha! Sorry to disappoint, but... Did you seriously expect to be standing here waiting to meet his assassin?
As we have already established, my interest lies only in the successful conclusion of this investigation, Sir Knight. Now, Sir Edgeworth, if you would be so kind as to examine the body. Alright. My only option right now is to play along. The rest is up to you, Detective Gumshoe. So the attempted assassination of the president has become the murder of a bodyguard. You look like you use a little help there, Mr. Edgeworth. Not that I need it, but yes. That's what I thought. Then there's nothing else for it. Kay Faraday. Kay Faraday, great thief extraordinaire, will just have to take it from here. Oh, really? You mean you're going to solve the case for me? Nope! The most Lynn response ever. Something Lynn would totally say. I thought not. But I will provide vital assistance. Now let's get to scouring this crime scene from top to bottom. It will take Detective Gumshoe a while to assemble our backup, so I need to draw this part of the investigation out for as long as possible. Begin investigation. Zhengfa, presidential plane. I must scour the scene and inspect anything that catches my attention. Why did they remove the Nook and Cranny line? Why? Come on, Capcom. It's a bulletproof attach case. Bodyguards use them to shield their clients from gunfire. There were some in case photographed too. Looks like Rook and Knight each had one. Oh hey, that's the photo I snatched! You can hardly steal a photo at a public event, Kay. But I'm snatching up a moment in time with every picture I take, you know? I'll take it snatch is your new favorite word. Maybe. See, she's so Lynn, bro. This is what I mean when I say Kay was a huge inspiration for Lynn. The bullet seems to have entered just under his armpit and went clean through his body. He was hit in an area his bulletproof vest didn't cover. Like it was on purpose or something, huh? The cause of death would appear to be loss of blood. Attempts were made to stanch it, but to no avail. The medics must have been brought in to try and save him. Sadly, it was too little too late. So the victim was also carrying a revolver. Looks like he was trying to use it. He probably drew it on instinct when he felt threatened. We should check and see if he's managed to fire any rounds off. All there, and no other signs of the weapon having been used. Was this one a loan from Zhengfa too?
Yep, sure was. We're always with the same model gun.
It's the victim, Mr. Bastion Rook, bodyguard to the president of Zhengfa. He's one of the guys that brought the president inside as soon as the shooting started. Which means he continued to do his duty right up until his dying breath. At least he'll get posthumously promoted? Okay, it's better when to say nothing at all than end up with your foot in your mouth. What do you mean? I mean, Bodyguards don't even operate on the same rank promotion system as the police in the first place. He's actually not wrong there. I just want to point out he's not wrong there about that. There are 2 large rectangles cut into the floor here. We can see hinges through the gaps. It's an emergency entrance disguised as an emergency exit. All the person we need to do is lower his rope ladder and make his miraculous escape. Which will make it an exit, not an entrance. So which is it? It's an exit, but it's used as an entrance, but disguised as an exit. Yeah. I think? Congratulations, you've even confused yourself. That's quite the achievement.
K used confusion! It's super effective!
Alright. Next, we examine the desk. I must scour the scene and inspect anything that catches my attention. And that looks heavy. So this is what the president wears, huh? Must be made of something super special. Yes, to protect him from bullets. What? So it's not just for show? Of course not. This is a bulletproof vest. Oh, so that's what one of those looks like. Why didn't you just say so? Now I feel silly. Documents of some kind. We could always steal a glance? Another security plan. Oh yeah, like the one from the trash can. Precisely. But wait, something feels off. That's right, Knight and Rook's positions are different. The 2 plans are different. Was the security detail reorganized at some point? Huh? Oh, you're right!
Yeah, we made some last-minute changes yesterday. President's orders.
Why the urgency?
Because of what happened the day before. Tequila here tried to take him down. He infiltrated the security detail and posed as one of us. Rook figured it out first, but not before the guy got within striking distance of the president. If our leader hadn't stepped in just then, we'd all been out of a job. But he made it, and our friend here wound up with a serious twisted arm. Rook put a bull in it for good measure, too.
Jeez, dude, again. Pointing out right now, that is badass. This guy actually got a hit on Shelly the Killer. Let that sink in. One of the world's most successful assassins, and this guy actually got a hit on him. And where were you while this was happening? You were the first one I overpowered, were you not? Oh, that's embarrassing.
Shut up, kid!
Ah, now I get it. Your neck has barely begun to heal, and you've already forgotten who I am. I'm disappointed.
Well, it's you! Busted up my neck so bad, I can't even look to my right now!
I was somewhat astonished to have sustained an injury at all. A testament to Mr. Rook's skill. He was truly a master of his craft. Unlike a certain other someone I could mention.
Humph! I'm just as good as ever! Better than him!
You were a pawn to his queen, my young friend.
What the heck do you know?
So that's why you remembered Mr. Rook's name. You admired his skill as a bodyguard. Indeed. While I was serving on the team, I learned the names of all the operatives. But his in particular stayed with me. It joined the very short list of those who have ever successfully wounded me. Again, that's how you know this guy's not fucking around. Again, Rook actually managed to land a wound on this guy. That is saying something. So, that's the connection he was talking about.
And that's why we changed up the security plan. Had to be sure there weren't any more assassins in the ranks. The president didn't want anybody on stage he didn't trust, and only trust 2 people. Me and Rook.
How does that explain your change of position? Oh yeah, he switched over to the right-hand side.
I told you, I can't turn my neck to the right. Can only cover the president's left side. So I wound up moving to the right side of the stage.
Okay. Now the monitors. It's a bank of monitors displaying camera feeds from in and around the plane. I must scour the scene and inspect everything that catches my attention. What on earth is this?
Ah, that? It's the president's favorite plushie. It's a memento of something. Anyway, don't touch it.
But if that's the case, then why has it been left up there like nobody cares about it? Yeah, that is pretty weird. It certainly wouldn't be the first place I would think to display a beloved item. Wait, are there shards of glass underneath it? I thought something seemed strange about this cubbyhole, but now I'm sure of it. There was almost certainly another monitor in here. This monitor is displaying a feed of this very room. They didn't go cheap when they bought these, huh? Very high res. Oh. I'm afraid I can't quite tell myself, but I can even see a little crow's feet around your eyes. Oh, my bad. They're just the usually deeply etched lines, you know, on your forehead. If you've quite finished. Okay, I don't think there was anything else to examine here. What was next? Talking to these guys? Oh, wait a minute. Oh, the door. It was the door. The president is on the other side of this door. And what a door it is! Better get the better of it, though! Get the better of it? Doors aren't there to be beaten. But look how heavy it is! Look at that lock! It's just sitting there begging me to try it! Calm down, Kay, and think, why might this door be locked? For me to open it, of course! Precisely, for you to open it, of course. Wait. What is the right answer, anyway? Someone has left an inflatable boat, an oar over here. Probably so it's ready to go at any time. Wait, but there's only one oar! You can still row with one oar, you know. What am I missing here? 2 gas masks, in case of a poison gas attack, I suppose. The president certainly seems to think he's at risk of assassination at all times. Wow! Gas masks! I've never seen one before. I've heard plenty about them, of course. Oh, from a fellow thief, I presume? No, from the German Ninja. You know, my favorite kids' TV show. Princess Murasaki was getting married, but a toxic ninja Wolfsbane showed up to lay down some sick burns. And time to tune out. Might save myself a brain cell or two. That's funny. A riot shield, and next to it, a canary in a cage. Aw, she's so sweet! I want one! Did you ever see a cuter partner in crime? Partner in crime? Well, yeah, she can help me with lockpicking, stuff like that. A great thief has no greater ally than nature, Mr. Edgeworth. Sadly, such birds are most commonly used for detecting poisonous gases. Wait, this one isn't actually for that, is it? And what to be found here? Wait a minute. Tabby, I think? By talking to you? I didn't do it. I'm a reporter. I bag scoops, not souls. But then why lie about your jacket and the laser sight? I was just knew y'all would think it was fishy. Is that really all it was? Please, you gotta believe me. I could never do something like this. I'd like to tell you everything will be alright, but if you really are innocent, I'd like to tell you everything will be alright, but Just try not to worry too much. If you really are innocent, I'll prove it, one way or another. Thanks, Chief. I believe in you. How many times must I tell you, I am not your chief? Oh, I'm sorry, Ruffles. I reckon. Clean forgot you were chief number 2. That's not what I meant. Okay. There's a wide selection of protective equipment here. Bulletproof vests, hazmat gear. No way! There's even a spacesuit! I get the sense the president thinks he's very much in need of protection at all costs. But what if he was in a gunfight and there was poison gas everywhere? And he was in space. What could he do then, huh? Then he'd simply put on the bulletproof vest, the hazmat gear, and the spacesuit. That's probably easier said than done. Okay, what am I missing? Just talking to him? I have high hopes for your investigation. I do hope you won't betray my trust in you. Oh, that's it. Oh, never mind. Things are progressing well, I hope. There's no need to worry. Things are progressing just fine. Remember, I absolutely despise betrayals of all kinds. Yes, I know. Indeed you do. So please, do take care not to double-cross me, accidentally or otherwise. I really have no choice but do as he says for now.
Can't believe I let an assassin onto the president's plane!
You know very well it's for the good of the investigation, Sir Knight.
Don't give me that! I know what you really want!
You do indeed, because you heard me say it already. I wish to know the truth behind good Sir Rook's death. But you did also say you were asked to assassinate the president by a certain someone. You seem to have forgotten there are more pressing matters at hand, good Sir Edgeworth. I don't often carry out unpaid work, but it's not entirely unheard of. Fine, I'll get back to the investigation. Very good. I'm expecting great things of you, good Sir Edgeworth. Wait, I'm curious. I want to see if he reacts to the, if I present the gun and he reacts. Such a frightfully blunt instrument. No knowledge or skill required. The use of such tools speaks to a fundamental lack of reverence for the craft, wouldn't you say? You're telling me there's a level of reverence involved in choosing a murder weapon? Indeed I am, good Sir Edgeworth. Wouldn't you agree? A weapon is a weapon. Well, I totally agree, and so does he. Now say sorry, Mr. Edgeworth. What's he to apologize for? Now the badge. I must admit, I have never seen one of these up close. It's akin to a license, correct? I too... No way! You have a license to kill? Oh no, but if I must spell it out for you... Nope! All good, thanks! You can keep that little nugget of truth locked up and nice and tight in your heart, okay? So, even a great thief's bravado quickly crumbles in the face of an assassin. Interesting. Very interesting. Okay, what am I missing? Dude, I've literally examined everything. I have literally examined everything. What do you mean? Do I have to actually examine everything? Okay. A curious figurine of a curious animal with a curious expression staring straight at me. And look, there's a big lever right by its butt! Do not even think about it. Oh, I wasn't thinking anything, I swear! I imagine that lever opens the panels beneath my feet. Ah, I see. So he's sitting on a trapdoor. I strongly advise you not to pull it, Sir Edgeworth. Do so, and you will regret it. You know, I'm okay with taking some advice, especially when it's from a professional assassin. These personal safety alarms are very colorful. Looks like they get a lot of use as well. I like the president. He seems like a thoughtful guy. Buying these for his kids, maybe his wife too. Why would they all be here if that was the case? No, these are for his own personal use. Objection, Your Honor! It is simply not possible for one person to use this many personal alarms. Why, you ask? Because he is human, and therefore possesses only 2 hands. 20 hands wouldn't be enough to count the number of objections I have to that objection. Okay, that's a green check mark now. Do I really just have to examine everything? I have to examine all of these? Dude, my voice has so much. Okay. These monitors are displaying the cockpit and parts of the plane's exterior. But I don't see anything out of the ordinary. Oh my god, are you kidding me? That's the outside of the plane. Most intruders could not hope to approach without being spotted. But such measures would be mere child's play in my case. Whoa! You think you pass cameras like these without being seen? Well, of course. With ease, I'd even add. You have to teach me how! Please! Are you taking on apprentices by any chance? Kay, you do realize who you're talking to, don't you? Sorry. Had to ask, though. What a great skill for a great thief to know. Unfortunately for you, I am not the type to take on understudies. You're not, huh? Shame. Shame? In what way exactly? Dude, what else am I missing here? There's no way I'm missing something. Okay, so green check mark, 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 green check mark. It's a solid circular life preserver, designed to be used in case of an emergency on the water. Or rather, the sea to be more precise. Ooh, the sea! I love the sea! We should go sometime! Sorry, but you'll have to make that particular trip without me. Aw, don't be like that! Come on, it'll be fun! We can have lobster rolls, ice cream, all that good stuff! Something tells me the sea isn't the main attraction for you, is it? No way, dude. Stop. There's more? Where could there possibly be more? Oh, logic. Oh my god, I'm stupid. Wow, I dragged this out longer than I needed to. Dude, I am stupid. I forgot about the logic function already. The 2 guns are exactly the same, meaning it's likely that one we found is also from Zangfa. The bodyguards all got their guns from Zangfa authorities, right? Yes. Are they, like, super rare or anything? No, I don't believe so. This model isn't exactly easy to come by in this country, but it's certainly not impossible either. Boo! And here I thought they might be valuable treasures! Yes, it is something of a shame. Whoa! I just mentioned treasures, and you actually responded for once! I only mean to point out that if guns were rarer, it would be much easier to trace them. Which would have made them treasures of the evidence variety, I suppose. Ha! See? Everything's a treasure hunt one way or another, including this investigation! You could say that. All right then, it's treasure hunting time! On with the investigation! She certainly seems a lot more enthusiastic all of a sudden. Okay, then... Two bullets were fired in total. We know this because 2 shots were heard. One traveled through the flag and into the balloon, the other took Mr. Rook's life. But there's a bullet in the president's vest too, right? How is that possible? How indeed. The numbers don't add up. However, there is one possible explanation. There is? After passing through his body, the bullet that took Mr. Rook's life then found itself lodged in the vest. In other words, 2 of our bullets were in fact 1. No way!
He's right. If the president had been wearing that vest, things could have been a whole lot worse.
And he wasn't injured at all by the impact. Even when obstructed by a vest, a bullet can inflict serious damage. He's right about this. A bulletproof vest can still injure you from the force of the impact. Even the bullet doesn't puncture you. With how fast those things fly, he's actually right about that.
Sure, I've known guys that got broken bones that way. But the president's okay. He's made of strong stuff.
Sounds like he didn't even need a vest. Let's not get carried away here. I want that bullet's ballistic markings analyzed. Remind me what those are again? Guns leave a unique pattern of grooves on every bullet they fire. By examining these grooves, we can use them to identify which gun it came from. Think of them as a fingerprint of sorts. You can tell that from a bullet? Then what are we waiting for? Analyze away!
Might be easier said than done. The bullet had solid armor. The impact will have completely flattened it. You'd be lucky if there's anything left for forensics to find.
What? But I was all set for some analyzing. Okay, finally. That's quite enough investigating for now.
What is taking so long, Detective Gumshoe?
Well, good Sir Edgeworth, have you solved the case?
No, not yet.
Is that so? Then perhaps interviewing another key witness might help you to do so.
Another witness? Who?
You don't mean... The most important witness of all, the man on the other side of that door.
He really intends to have me question the president?
Now, if you would be... Now then, if you would be so kind as to summon him, good Sir Edgeworth.
Stop right there, the killer! You're nuts if you think I'd let him anywhere near you!
Well, good Sir President, I'm sure you're watching us through your security feed, aren't you? In which case, I politely request that you show yourself. That is, if you value your bodyguard's life.
Ah!
Well then, if nothing else, we know what kind of man you really are.
Mr. President! Stop! Stop! You can't do this! Let's just calm down, all right?
Come on, detective! Where in the blazes are you?
Eek!
The lights! What's happening? Listen well, Mr. Edgeworth. I would advise you to stay very still. It seems I will not be granted my audience with the president after all. Even with Mr. Knight's life as my bargaining chip.
No! Stop! No! Stop! No! Eek!
Kay! You won't get away with this, the killer! I have seen enough. And now, I know the truth.
Where are you? Where did you go? Ah!
I leave the rest in your capable hands, good Sir Edgeworth. Like, dude, again, this guy, he's kind of badass, because again, he's given the law the slip 3 times now. Bro, this is the 3rd time the killer has gone away. He has never been caught in this franchise.
Worth! Sir Edgeworth! Detective Gumshoe? Sir! Mr. Edgeworth, sir!
March 25th, 4:45 p.m. Zhangfa, Presidential Plane.
I must have been knocked unconscious. Sir, you're okay!
Are you alright, Mr. Edgeworth?
Never mind me. He didn't hurt you, did he, Kay?
Nah, I'm fine. I only just woke up myself. My head will be sore for a while, but that's about it. So you can stop worrying. Detective, did you manage to stop the killer?
Well, see, Miss Lloyd came running out of the plane and, she told us he'd flown the coop. We were too late. I'm sorry, sir. Bodyguard told us something too. Seems there's an inflatable boat missing from the window. The killer must have sold and rowed himself across the lake.
What about the cordon around the park?
I called everyone out to stake out the plane, including guys stationed across the water.
No! So it's completely slipped through our fingers?
Not the best look for our department, but yeah.
Hey, Edgeworth! Mr. Knight, you're alive. Yeah, no thanks to that murderer!
Oh, that reminds me. I found this line on the ground next to you, Mr. Edgeworth.
A calling card, marked with a seashell.
Guess he wanted to leave a message.
The killer usually leaves these next to the bodies of his victims.
But you're not dead, sir.
But I could have been. Maybe that's the message. I can't stop thinking about his parting words.
I have seen enough, and now I know the truth. I leave the rest in your capable hands, good Sir Edgeworth.
Like, jeez, dude. Shelley is like... I'm telling you, Shelley is... I kind of admire how badass he is, but goddamn. And now I know the truth. The truth about what? Roger that. I'll clear out here, sir. Over. What's going on? That was the president. He's coming out. Now? So, he's the president of Zhangfa, Mr. Daijun Wang.
And you are?
It's an honor to meet you, Mr. President. My name is Miles Edgeworth.
The honor is all mine, Mr. Edgeworth. I am President Daijun Wang. Your efforts on behalf of Zhangfa have not gone unnoticed. You've averted something of a crisis.
He must be referring to the Yatagarasu case. Thank you, sir, but all I did was solve a few local cases of murder.
You are too humble. I've been observing your investigation. You're an impressive operator, Mr. Edgeworth, even if the killer did get away.
That's very kind of you to say. So he was watching through his security feed.
Sadly, I must inform you, this is as far as your investigation goes.
What do you mean?
Hear me, foolish prosecutor, for I shall say this only once. Knight has appraised me of the state of affairs. And from this point forward, this case will be handled by the Zhangfa police force, the finest in the world.
Even with the killer out of the picture, they're still looking to get me thrown off of the case?
What do you think you're doing, pal? Nobody talks to Mr. Edgeworth like that. If it hadn't been for him, the killer would have...
Detective! Forgive him, Mr. President, but I must confess to being somewhat confused. I fail to see how or why this case falls within Zhangfa's jurisdiction.
You fail to see? Enough, puny prosecutor! You seek explanations from a head of state? I say no! 1,000 times no! I will not explain myself to you! Now hand over the evidence you've gathered and remove yourself from this plane!
I do if he... I'm speaking too fast, though. I do as he says that... Read slower. I do as he says if I were you, Mr. Edgeworth. This can't really be the end of the line, can it? Why? Why let us come so far only to pull the case out from under us?
Now, you may leave. Knight, detain the suspect.
Yes, sir, right away.
To make an attempt on my life, to murder one of my faithful servants, the effrontery, the villainy!
I didn't murder nobody!
Shut your mouth, Miss Journalist! Answer me this! In a world already lousy with lies, with deception, with sin and iniquity, can we stand by and suffer yet another crime to go unpunished? I say no! 1,000 times no! There can be no forgiveness! There can be no surrender! Why, you ask me? Then I will tell you!
He's hiding something. I'm certain of it. And if I leave now, we'll never know the truth.
Mr. Edgeworth, sir!
Mr. Edgeworth, there's gotta be something we can do! Think, Miles. Remember. How many times have you faced situations like this in the courtroom? You've confronted the lies of witnesses and countered arguments of other lawyers. Has the critical evidence always been at your feet? No. And yet you always got to the truth of the situation in the end. With your greatest weapon of all, your words. Now, let us analyze the state of play.
Begone, puny prosecutor, or do you dare defy the direct order of a president?
He's not going to listen. He clearly means to drown out any objections, blah. He's not going to listen. He's going... Read slower! I'm bad at this! He's not going to listen. He clearly means to drown out any objection by pure... I need... Okay. He's not going to listen. He clearly means to drown out any objection by means of pure rhetorical force. When an opponent is on the offensive, the best thing to do is bide my time and wait for an opening. As he said himself, he's head of state, a seasoned politician. He won't open himself up to attack easily. I can't let him bully me into submission. I have to stay calm and alert. If I can read his movements and expressions correctly, I may be able to find my moment. My first aim should be to find out why he's insisting on Zhang Fa should take over the case. The board is set. Time to make my opening gambit.
Mind chess! Commence!
Please, about the case.
Did I give you permission to speak? No! 1,000 times no! I am the leader of Zhang Fa. I have no time for your insolent backchat.
I was simply hoping to confirm one basic fact. You say the investigation will now be assigned to your national police force, correct?
I do! Now enough of your pointless questions! Humph! Good! The interior of this plane is the sovereign territory of Zhang Fa. You have no rights here.
Is that so? Could it be that our current location itself is significant somehow? I should keep that in mind. It could be a useful clue. Could you at least explain to me why I'm off the case?
Imbecile! Cease your insolent jabbering! I need not explain myself to you. My reasons are my own, and they are none of your concern.
Perhaps it's time to deploy my clue. In the course of our conversation, I've deduced certain facts from your behavior, Mr. President. For example, you seem particularly aggressive when discussing our current location.
Humph! You smarmy smart aleck!
As you said yourself, the presidential plane is the sovereign territory of Zhang Fa. And from that, we can infer that you believe the rules of extraterritoriality... That is a tongue twister of a word. That you believe the rules of extraterritoriality apply inside here. Is that correct?
Enough! Cease your objectionable whining!
You can rant and roar all you like, but you won't escape my scrutiny. It was unmistakable. The moment I mentioned extraterritoriality, you became visibly agitated.
You think you're clever, don't you? Let me answer your little question. It's true!
This word is going to be the death of me, dude. I stumbled on saying it in freaking Ablaze. Okay. Extraterritoriality. Extraterritoriality. Extraterritorial. Extraterritoriality. 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 Dude, this fucking word, man.
It's true. Extraterritoriality applies. Your laws mean nothing here. And why does that matter, you ask? It's because it means you are powerless. You have neither influence nor authority here.
Interesting. So the extraterritoriality... So the extraterritoriality does... This word... Dude, this word... Hit the Cat's Delight Hurricane. Okay. Interesting. So the extraterritoriality issue does have something to do with all of this. Heh. Let's dig a little deeper into the claim the plane is sovereign territory, shall we? This next move will surely decide the victor. He may be the president, but nobody is untouchable. I just have to find the right angle of attack. You believe the extraterritoriality applies here, but can you prove it?
Do you even understand what you are asking?
Of course. If I didn't, I wouldn't ask it.
Have you no shame, calling to question the good word of one such as myself? I have no more time for this. You clearly cannot be saved from your own foolishness.
You need to worry about me. I'm not the one who needs saving. That would be Miss Lloyd, the woman who's being wrongfully accused of this crime.
Your chivalry is admirable, but it changes nothing. The right to extraterritoriality cannot be denied. This is Sang-Fa!
If I want to take this any further, I'll need a clue of some kind. Let me try another tack for now. Surely you see you've overplayed your hand by now.
Nobody asked for your opinion. You need only obey me, nothing else. You dare tell me how to govern, how to lead? You dare contradict me?
On the matter of Miss Lloyd's guilt, yes, I do.
No, she is guilty. She is the culprit. There is nothing left to debate. Who else could have fired from outside the plane? There is no other viable suspect.
Fascinating. So he's claiming that Miss Lloyd fired from outside the plane? This could be a vital clue. Okay. You believe that extraterritoriality... This word. You believe the extraterritoriality applies here, but can you prove it?
Do you even understand what you are asking?
Of course. If I didn't, I wouldn't ask it.
Have you no shame, calling to question the good word of one such as myself? I have no more time for this. You clearly cannot be saved from your own foolishness.
You needed to worry about me. I'm not the one who needs saving. That would be Miss Lloyd, the woman who's being wrongfully accused of this crime. Excuse me.
Your chivalry is admirable, but it changes nothing. The right to extraterritoriality cannot be denied. This is... Okay, I don't want to scream again, so I'm going to get the roommate.
Time to deploy my clue. I may not be able to call the extraterritoriality of the presidential plane into doubt. However, according to you, she shot at you from outside the aircraft, correct? In which case, extraterritoriality could not possibly apply in this case. Your assertion is entirely without merit, and the detainment... Your assertion is entirely without merit, and the detainment of Miss Lloyd cannot be justified.
How could I have bested by a mere prosecutor? But I am the president! The president!
Checkmate.
Mine chess! Checkmate!
I trust you won't mind if we continue our investigation now, Mr. President.
Grr. I hereby officially and unreservedly confirm my approval. Consider a gesture of the magnanimity and generosity for which my good office is known. Yes, for without noble acts such as these, unmistakably and irrefutably, for which reason we hereby... There can be no other outcome, for our goals are lofty and our hearts. People of Zhangfa, I swear to you here and now, the investigation will continue.
All that when he could have just said, okay, you got me? Mr. Knight, if you would care to return the evidence.
Take it.
We got our evidence back. Great. We did it, Mr. Edgeworth. We sure did. And now the investigation can continue.
Whatever. Enjoy your pocket full of pawns. I'll be over here. I'll be over here enjoying how you put them into play.
Then you will definitely enjoy my next move. Mr. President, one more favor if you would be so kind.
What is it?
Could you please give us testimony concerning the incident itself?
Now you want me to testify?
Whoa. That's your next move? If you want the president to testify, you have to take him to court.
All in good time, Mr. Knight. He will get his day in court soon enough. But if a person of interest refuses to cooperate at the investigative stage of the process, they are obliged to provide a detailed justification as their reason for doing so.
Well, that's...
What's the matter? Is there something you'd rather we didn't know?
Stand down, Knight. I'll do as the prosecutor asks.
Thank you for your cooperation.
Now listen, and listen well.
President Wang's testimony.
Where was I when the incident occurred? Ah, yes, the stage, of course. Suddenly, Rook and Knight jumped in front of me. Then, bang! A shot rang out, and a plain, unblemished balloon of red exploded nearby. Not hesitating for an instant, my bodyguards tried to escort me back to the safety of the plane. And then, the second shot. The bullet went right through Rook and lodged itself in my bulletproof vest I was wearing.
I guess if you look at it in one way, the president is also a victim here. Yes, the victim of an attempted assassination. Rook was simply in the wrong place at the wrong time. But that makes it even weirder. Why would the target of a crime try to obstruct the investigation? My guess is there's something behind all of this that he doesn't want made public.
A cover-up, huh? I knew there was more to this case than meets the eye.
And the president isn't the only one who knows the truth. Isn't that right, Mr. Knight? Time to get to the bottom of this once and for all. This one's easy.
Objection!
You say it was a plain red balloon that burst, but I strongly beg to differ.
What?
Take a look at this. I think you'd agree it's hardly plain, wouldn't you?
What? Who is that?
Mr. President, meet the Steel Samurai. I would have hoped you might recognize him, especially if you were hoping to ingratiate yourself with the people of this country. Yeah, you need to watch the Jammin' Ninja too. He's amazing. So you see, the balloon that was struck by the bullet was anything but plain. It was, in fact, of the Steel Samurai.
But the briefing mentioned 2 plain red balloons. And there they are, right in the security plan.
Hello, Sassy Kitty. They do look pretty plain, don't they? Just simple round balloons.
Knight, what is the meaning of this? Explain yourself.
Yes, Mr. President. It seems the Steel Samurai balloon was borrowed at the last minute, sir.
Borrowed?
That's what we were told.
Am I okay? Yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine now. No need to worry.
That's what we were told. Guess they only reported the incident to us bodyguards, though. Seems there was a little trouble here on site last night. One of the original balloons burst somehow.
So they swapped it as an emergency replacement?
Yeah, one of those stallholders happened to have it. From what I hear, he was more than willing to lend it out. A very happy-go-lucky kind of guy, they said.
Happy-go-lucky guy? Sorry. Happy-go-lucky stallholder with the Steel Samurai balloon to spare, huh? Okay. Don't worry. I talked with Dad, we figured it out. There's no need to worry about it. I told him, to tell you that it was fine.
They filled up just the bottom part with the air to make it look like another ornamental balloon. So, while it was a Steel Samurai balloon, it was made to look like a plain red one above the water. Is that the long and short of it?
Knight, why was I not informed of this?
Sorry, sir. We didn't think it was a pressing issue.
And indeed, you saw it and knew no different, correct?
Yes, I suppose so.
Could he really have mistaken the Steel Samurai's pants for a red balloon? Still, Mr. President, I struggle to see how you wouldn't have noticed something so different about the balloon.
Of course!
What's that outburst for?
Now I remember! I could barely see the balloon.
You couldn't see it?
That's right! The wind was blowing too hard. The flags to the sides of the stage were flapping incessantly and blocking my view.
Is that so?
Yes, those 2 flags. They were being blown back towards me.
There would have been strong wind blowing right around the time of the incident. Strong enough to blow the flags in just such a fashion. Does that conflict with any way with our understanding of the case? It does, actually. Thank you, Mr. President. Your testimony has revealed yet another contradiction.
It has?
Yes, a contradiction that could turn this entire case on its head. When I arrived on the scene, the wind had died down and the flags were resting calmly for the most part. But if the wind had previously been blowing the flags as the President describes, a certain piece of evidence suddenly takes on a very different meaning. Which piece of evidence contradicts the stated stages? Well, the bullet trajectory, because look at it. It went through the flag.
Take that!
Earlier, we deduced the bullet struck the Steel Samurai balloon. And the bullet that passed through the flag were one and the same. From these 2 things, we further deduced the trajectory the bullets must have taken. Uncle B's in town. Ooh, nice! And we concluded our shooter must have fired from the left side of the spectator area. But the flags were blowing as the person describes, our conclusion becomes quite different. No way! If the flags are pointing the other direction... Exactly. Our trajectory changes completely. And if we trace the trajectory back to its source, we are certain who really fired that shot. Wait, but Mr. Edgeworth, that would mean... Yes, I know. We may not understand the reason why, but it could only have been one person who did it. Who does the bullet's new trajectory implicate as the one who fired the shot? Mr. Knight.
Take that!
The person who fired that shot was none other than you, Mr. Knight.
What?
The path from the bullet back to the flag leads directly to the spot you were standing.
But the guy's one of the president's bodyguards! Why the heck would he go around shooting balloons? This is absurd! What exactly are you trying to imply? That Mr. Knight, a man who saved my life countless times, is my would-be assassin?
Seriously, Edgeworth, we put up with a lot from you, but this? We're President Wang's bodyguards. We're the pieces that put the board... Blah. We're President Wang's bodyguards. We're the pieces put on the board to protect the king.
I'll handle this, Knight.
Sorry, sir.
Mr. Edgeworth, the wind was indeed blowing quite fiercely around the time of my speech. But the wind can pick up and die away in an instant, can it not? Therefore, I need proof. Proof that it was blowing hard enough to lift the flags during that crucial moment.
The first shot was fired right around the time the president raised his fist. I have a piece of evidence that shows just that. Perhaps it can also show us what happened with the flag then, too. Yep.
Take that!
Your proof is in this picture right here.
This should be good. Which picture? Where?
We can see which way the flag was really blowing right here.
Take that!
Well, do you deny that it clearly shows the flag? There we have it. Proof that it was blowing towards you at the moment of the shooting.
So that means our pal over there did shoot the balloon.
Making him the assassin? Mr. Knight, he's not the assassin. Mr. Knight is not the assassin. He may have shot the balloon, but the president was on the other side of him entirely. Therefore, he can't have been aiming at his boss.
Yeah, besides, why would I even shoot the balloon? What even be the point? And watch how you answer, or I might aim for something else next.
There was a point, I'm sure of it. If I can figure out what it was, then perhaps I can finally put this whole conundrum to rest. Knight definitely shot the balloon. The fact alone changes everything about this case. Why did Knight's assigned position change?
I told you, I can't turn my neck to the right. Could only cover the president's left side. So I wound up moving to the right side of the stage.
But is that the only reason? Let's suppose the plan hadn't changed. The Knight remained posted on the left. Given that he was unable to turn his head to the right, would he even have been able to shoot the balloon closest to him? Could it be that a security plan was changed for the express purpose of popping one of the balloons? And if we suppose that to be the case, the two plans are different. Was the security detail reorganized at some point?
Yeah, we made some last-second changes yesterday. President's orders.
That's right. The president was the one who ordered the change. Okay, hang on. I gotta get some water because my throat's a little dry. Okay, I'm back. Okay, audio check. Audio check. Audio's good. If I'm reading things right, the president knew in advance about the balloon shooting, which means he must have had foreknowledge he would be in someone's crosshairs today as well. And if that's true, then everything else that's been bothering me falls neatly into place. How did the shooter get a gun past such heavy security? And why would they carry out the shooting wearing such a conspicuous item of clothing? Why use a laser sight that would give away their location in an instant? And how did the president suffer no injuries at all despite a direct hit to the vest? These are the questions that Knight and the president don't want us to consider. There's only one possible reason for Mr. Knight to have fired his gun. To create the illusion of an assassination attempt. What? Huh?
Idiot! You don't understand what you're saying, right?
Oh, I understand all too well. I understand everything now. Most of all, I understand why you were so keen to take this investigation off of my hands, Mr. President. You wanted your real plans to remain hidden.
How dare you speak to me that way? Is this some sort of sick joke?
Oh, it's no joke, I assure you. It's simply the truth, as revealed by the careful application of logic and reasoning, nothing more. The first shot was fired by Mr. Knight with the specific intention of hitting that balloon. The sound of gunfire and the bursting of the balloon were guaranteed to cause a panic. And then, he fired again. He did? Yes, he fired 2 bullets, both of which were aimed at the balloon. As for why he did so, it's because the second shot was designed to create the impression the president had been hit. So then what's the deal with the one in the vest? I'm willing to bet that bullet was planted there long before the shooting ever occurred. So Mr. Heroic President didn't take a bullet after all.
That's not true! I was shot, I tell you!
We'll be able to verify that for ourselves once we take a closer look at the bullet. At the very least, we can expect to find traces of Mr. Rook's blood on it, correct?
But you said it yourself! You found the shooter in the photograph! The person with the red hood!
I thought I made myself clear. The trajectory points to one possible shooter, Mr. Knight. Then what does Tabby fit into all of this? She was simply one part of their plan. In order to place the suspicion elsewhere, they set about creating a fake assassin. The highly suspicious person with the red hood. I've yet to ascertain exactly how complicit Miss Lloyd was in the whole scheme, but I can say with some confidence that none of the shots were fired by her. I suspect her only job was to point a laser sight at the president. That's right! Then I was tasked with turning your jacket inside out the moment the crowd flew into a panic, yes. Thus, making the mysterious red-hooded shooter disappear in the blink of an eye. Then, when the gun and security plan were later found in the trash can, it would have all appeared to have been the work of an assassin so skilled they could vanish into thin air.
But the case would have gone cold!
Exactly what our friends here were hoping for. Makes sense now why they wanted you off the case. Indeed, because the entire affair was a cheap ruse perpetrated by the president himself. I'd scream louder, but I don't want to wake up my roommate.
No!
The presidential mask has well and truly slipped. Admit it, the entire assassination was a lie, wasn't it?
If that stupid chief prosecutor hadn't instigated on... If that stupid chief prosecutor hadn't insisted on assigning you... How could I let this happen?
Objection!
That's enough, Edgeworth.
Mr. Knight?
Sorry, but I'm speaking with the president right now. Yeah, well, I'm doing my job as a knight and protecting my king. So go ahead, keep running your mouth. Perhaps it would be better if we stuck to threatening each other with words. He wouldn't, would he? Nah, I don't need this thing to shut you up. Alright, my move. Question. You claim I fired my gun from on stage. How do you figure I did that in front of a crowd of thousands? An excellent point. Time for my counter move, I suppose. You had a certain something that allowed you to conceal your actions. A certain something, huh? Mighty specific. What did Mr. Knight use to hide his actions from the crowd? Well, that's easy. The bulletproof attach case. My attach case? Yes, take a look at Kay's photograph. Your right hand is completely obscured by the case. At that very moment this picture was taken, you were firing your gun. And in such a way that you wouldn't be detected.
Objection.
You don't like to let the facts get in the way of a good theory, do you, Edgeworth? Shame you don't seem to have noticed. Noticed what? The theories are all you have. Conjectures. Nothing more. The flag was billowing in the wind at precisely the right moment. I hid my gun with my attached case. We changed the security plan because I couldn't turn my head. It's all just speculation. Circumstantial evidence at best. You can't prove any of it. Ugh. If you at least had the bullet that burst the balloon, you might have a scrap of credibility. Imagine, you could have run forensics to see if it matched my gun, but no, the bullet is at the bottom of the lake. You gotta go dredge it up? I hate to say it, but he's right. I don't have anything concrete. I thought not. Now maybe you can shut your mouth. Miss Lloyd? Of course, she could shed some light on this whole situation. I just need to get her to talk. What's the matter? Something you want to say, Miss Journalist? No, never mind. Yeah, that's what I thought. Miss Lloyd. I need you to be brave. If you don't speak up, the truth will be lost forever. You are a journalist after all, are you not? Got it! I can't stay quiet any longer! Hey, you understand what you're doing, right? You better think carefully before opening that mouth of yours! I was so focused on bagging me a scooper. Well, I reckon I forgot the most important thing of all. Real journalists don't lie. Ain't no dang scooper if it ain't the truth. I'm sorry, Mr. Edgeworth. Well, I reckon I should have showed this to you before. What is it? Why, it's the laser pointer I used on the president. But that's all I done. I ain't never shot nobody. You stupid! I thought I told you! You squeal, and you're gonna go down as an accomplice! It was him! Why, he told me to do it! I was at St. Far's embassy, stiffing out a snore, like I told you. This was 3 days back. And then he comes out of the blue and just starts talking. Help me out and I'll get you an exclusive access to the president, that kind of stuff. But what about the gun in the trash can? That I reckon I don't know about, I swear it. All he told me was to wear a jacket with a red hood and to point that there pointing at the president. Why, I never thought for a minute I'd blow up in my face so bad. I'm sorry. Truly, I am. Thank you, Miss Lloyd. I'd like for you to testify that effect when this goes to trial. It ought to be a long way towards proving that the assassination was a sham. Ugh! What's wrong with you people? Don't even know what's good for you? My sympathies, Mr. Knight. Had you successfully removed me from this case as you intended, perhaps then you could have kept your pawn quiet. So let me get this straight. You told Tabby if you let slip about our fake assassination plot, we'll have you convicted for murder? Or something like that? Of all the dirty! I said no such thing! President Wang?
Give it up, Knightley. It's time we came clean. It's our only choice.
So, Mr. President, you admit it. You admit that there was a plot to fake an assassination attempt?
I do. I'm sorry.
But why? Why something like that?
My popularity has been on the wane back home. I thought surviving an attempt on my life might give me the boost I needed. I know what we did was wrong, so yes, it was all lies, all of it.
And the bullet hole in the vest?
It was planted ahead of time. I wasn't hit by anything today.
But then, what was up with the killer?
Our plan got out somehow. And then he just appeared, hell-bent on turning our fake assassination to a real one.
Hence the red raincoat, I suppose. He'd hoped to get in close enough as the fake assassin to finish the job.
There is one thing I don't understand, though.
Oh, and what would that be?
Why did Rook have to die? If the whole thing was fake, how did he wind up getting killed for real?
That's true. And there lies in the real question.
He was a fine bodyguard. The best, in fact. He may not have been a native of Zhangfa, but he was someone I could fully trust.
Mr. Rook must have been really something to gain the trust of someone who'd hide from his own shadow.
Sounds like he was as trustworthy to the prison as I am to you, huh, sir?
I believe that's for me to say, Detective, not you. Mr. Rook must have known about the plan too then, correct?
He wasn't aware of any of the specific details, so not really. I tried to involve him, but he refused.
And you would have done well to listen to him.
This is a tragedy. The life of a good man has been wasted.
What was so great about him anyways? What's gone into him? He was just another piece on the board, there to protect you. Nothing more.
Mr. Knight, how could you?
Who was it that actually went along with your plan, huh, Mr. President? Well, that pious coward backed down when you needed him to step up the most.
I follow your support too, of course, but...
Look, I'm your chief bodyguard now. That's all that matters. You know, that spineless fool Rook is gone. Things are gonna change around here. Thanks to me, genius strategist, grandmaster, rightful leader of this team.
We are well aware of your ambitions, Mr. Knight. But doesn't this seem a little imprudent to you?
My plan this time was perfect, as they always are, as they always will be. That's quite a statement, especially considering your perfect plan was an abject failure. Yeah, no thanks to you and that buffoon Rook. And how exactly was this Mr. Rook's fault? If he hadn't died, the killer would have never come after me. And I wouldn't have had to lay you on this plane.
Please, Mr. Knight, you mustn't talk like that.
Fine. The died protecting Mr. President. I'm sure that's just what he always wanted. But he did die protecting the president? Wait, I thought the whole assassination thing was fake. Ah, come on. Do I have to say everything twice? We planned a fake assassination, but someone else came along to try to make it real. 2 shots were fired, remember? Like you said, Edgeworth, one of them was the bullet I shot through that balloon. But the second, that wasn't me. Oh, really? Then who did fire it? The real assassin, but not the killer. His plan was to come after the president with a knife. No, the most likely suspect here is the piece cowering quietly in the corner. Our illy white queen over there. What?
Miss Lloyd?
Again with this? I'm not your dang assassin! But is that really true? I, for one, don't believe it. The gun in the trash can? It can only belong to you! Knight's Gambit. As soon as I shot that balloon, I rushed over to help Rook escort the president back onto the plane. I like Rook in here in this room while I secured the president in the safe room. When I came back out, Rook was lying there on the ground. Miss Jones must have shot Rook while we were escorting the president off stage. That single killer shot was fired by the gun you found in the trash can. So you don't actually know when the victim was struck by the bullet, do you? The knight doesn't protect the Rook, Edgeworth. He protects the king. You want to translate? He means that his only concern was protecting the president. Lose the king, you lose the game. Isn't that the first rule of chess? But a win in which key pieces are sacrificed is a hollow victory indeed. Doesn't matter, it's still a victory. I kept the president safe. I win. Well, it's a bit early to be calling our little match in any case. For this is where the battle really begins. Rebuttal. Okay, so the answer to this one's pretty obvious. But it can't be, because it only has 2 shots in it. So, you contend that it was you who shot the balloon, and Miss Lloyd who shot Miss Rook. Are you sure about that? Sure, I'm sure. While what you propose would indeed match up with the total number of shots heard, the gun from the trash can itself also has been fired twice. Bah! Now, why would the supposed number of shots heard from this gun differ from the number of spent rounds? It's simple, because it was planted by the real perpetrator of the crime. Somebody faked the evidence? Yes, and if you think about it, the reason for doing so is obvious. To ensure that whoever found the gun would conclude the shooter had been in the spectator area. And in order to do that, they had to make it seem as if both shots had come from this one weapon. I get it, so that's why it's got 2 spent rounds, huh? Precisely. As we've already proven, the bullet that burst the balloon came from a different weapon. Which makes it entirely possible that the bullet which killed Mr. Rook didn't come from this gun either. Heh, nice work, Edgeworth. That's some high-grade sleuthing. But why don't you get to the point? You come this far, spit it out! Oh, I intend to. Don't worry. The person who really shot Mr. Rook was... You, Mr. Knight! You're the one who murdered Mr. Rook! Ooh, finally got the courage to say it, huh? Surely not! Surely you wouldn't have! It wasn't only Tequila who tried to take advantage of the fake murder plot. You killed Mr. Rook, hoping he would look like an accidental victim of the bungled assassination. With the president locked away in the safe room, and the door of the airplane tightly closed, it was just you and Mr. Rook, alone, together. That's when the 3rd bullet was fired, right into your colleague's body.
Objection.
Wait, you're really gonna claim there's a 3rd one now? You just said only 2 gunshots were heard. Wanna tell me how that works? Airplane cabins are practically soundproof, Mr. Knight. If you close the door, nothing can be heard from the outside, not even gunfire. But wasn't the president right next door? Very true, which means he may have heard the shot himself. Well, Mr. President?
I didn't hear anything.
But you can observe this room through your security feed, can you not?
The camera in this room isn't normally on. I have to manually switch it on when I enter the safe room.
And that's what you did this time too, right?
Well, that is...
What's gone into him? Mr. President, this is vitally important.
Well,
Please, President Wang!
Fine. I was busy hiding under the bed, covering my ears.
What? Even though you knew the whole thing wasn't real?
Yes, because I hate the sound of guns. Just the slightest hint of that awful noise and, oh, it's just too much.
I can't fault him for this. I don't exactly like loud noises either. Oof. Why, that there is sadder than a pot of overcooked crawfish. Ahem.
Mr. Knight, you saw that President Wang was cowering beneath the bed. And what's more, you knew from the monitor bank the security camera for this room hadn't been switched on. Which means you knew the circumstances were perfect for you to fire that third shot straight at Mr. Rook. Knight, how could you? Could you really have betrayed my trust so horribly?
You think I killed the old halfwit? You don't trust me much, huh? This is the thanks I get for putting my life on the line for you day after day.
I want to believe you, but
I don't get it. I just don't get it. What is there to doubt here? What? You don't believe the girl over there could have done it?
No, because this gun isn't the murder weapon. We know this much from the number of bullets fired.
Yeah? Well, how do you know there wasn't a spent bullet from the start?
What?
Someone could have fired a bullet from that gun yesterday or the day before. Then today, another bullet. That bullet hit Rook.
That's pure speculation, pal, and you know it.
Maybe, but can you prove it's not true?
Not with any certainty, no.
You're nothing without conclusive proof, so come on! A single piece of evidence straight through my heart. I dare you! Well, what are you waiting for?
There must be something, mustn't there, Mr. Edgeworth? If we can't prove it, Tabbies. Oh, please, Ruffles. I messed up, I know I did. I should have never done what I did, not even for a scoop. But murder? Nah, that ain't me. I ain't murderous, ain't a murderous bone in my body.
Conclusive proof. If only I could prove that Knight's gun is the murder weapon. Wait, perhaps I can.
If you at least had the bullet that burst the balloon, you might have a scrap of credibility. Imagine, you could have run the forensics to see if it matched my gun.
If we had the bullet that killed Mr. Rook, forensics could tell us which gun it was fired from.
No proof, no case. End of conversation.
Hold us right there.
What now? You don't want to claim you do have proof?
Of course I do.
Well, this ought to be good. All right, bring it on. Show me this proof of yours.
The bullet that took kill Mr. Rook is the key to ending our little game. Very well, my conclusive evidence is not in my possession. Not currently in my possession.
All right then, thanks for playing, folks, but that's game over.
However, it is here in this room.
What?
As we know, the bullet that killed Mr. Rook passed through his body. But where did it end its journey? Perhaps we should cast our minds back to an earlier conversation. After passing through his body, the bullet that took Mr. Rook's life then found itself lodged in the vest.
He's right! If the person had been wearing that vest, things could have been a whole lot worse.
But now, of course, we know the so-called assassination attempt was a complete fabrication. The vest was prepared in advance, made to look as if it had been hit by a bullet. Which begs the question, where is the real bullet?
I like it. A twist. This is good stuff, Edgeworth. Come on then, don't keep us in suspense.
Does any of the evidence point to where the bullet was killed? Does any of the evidence point towards where the bullet that killed Mr. Rook may have ended up? The monitors. There's something very clearly missing from this room.
Yes, a prosecutor with some common sense.
Take a look at the bank of security monitors. Oh!
I see you've caught on, Mr. President. Splendid. There are screens here showing views from all around the airplane, inside and out. The only external angle is not covered is the right-hand side of the aircraft. And that's because one of the monitors is missing.
Huh?
There was a monitor in place. There was a monitor in the space previously, wasn't there, Mr. President?
There was. I have no idea why Plushie is doing there now, though.
It appears to be someone's... Wow, that's a funny way of saying that sentence. It appears to be someone's vain attempt to hide what is obviously lacking. But where did it go? And why? The why is easy enough to answer, because it was struck by a bullet. For if we were to believe the bullet vest was the real deal, then anything that hinted the existence of another bullet had to be removed. So where did this missing monitor go? Where indeed? I believe that it must be hidden somewhere on this plane. After all, there wouldn't have been any time to dispose it outside of the aircraft. Detective Gumshoe, conduct the search if you would.
Right away, sir!
Mr. President! Extraterritoriality, remember?
I have no objection to the search. Please, go ahead. If it will help us discover the truth behind what happened to Rook, I won't stand in your way.
What are you... I don't believe this! Rook this, Rook that! Don't you ever think about anybody else?
The search has been authorized, Detective, if you wouldn't mind.
Sir, I found the monitor!
Excellent work. Now go ahead and extract the bullet.
Let's see. Put my hand in here and just... Come on, got it!
Well, would you look at that? Blood. This is the bullet that killed Mr. Rook. There's no doubt about it. And there you have it, Mr. Knight. The single piece of evidence you requested, straight through your heart. Even you must now admit, if this bullet didn't come from the spectator area gun, then Miss Lloyd cannot be Mr. Rook's killer. What? No pithy comeback? Detective, have forensics analyze the bullets for Detective, have forensics analyze the bullets for striations and compare them with the gun we found.
Yes, sir! We'll get the evidence you need. You can count on it.
Alright, let's hear what forensics has to say.
Our findings are as follows, sir. Firstly, the blood on the bullet is indeed that of the victim,
proving that it was the bullet that killed Mr. Rook.
Secondly, we found Mr. Knight's fingerprints on the gun.
Probably from when I handed all the evidence over to him. Now for the key part, the striations. If they're not a match, then Miss Lloyd is in the clear.
Lastly, the striations on the bullet are a match with this weapon.
What? But how could that be? No way! Oh, come on!
There's no doubt about it, sir. This is the gun that fired the bullet.
How?
Well, isn't that something?
Conclusive proof that I was right!
What's the matter? You didn't think you had me backed into a corner, did you? Guess you misread the board. Because the only one backed in the corner here is you!
Knight's counter.
There's no denying it! Forensics prove that the gun and bullet are a match! The bullet that killed Rook was fired from the gun you found in the spectator area. So who pulled the trigger? It can't have been me. I was up on stage, which leaves your little friend. The hack killed Rook. She's the murderer, and you just proved it. Your move, Edgeworth, but just remember two things. One, where you found that gun, and two, which gun the fatal bullet came from.
Fatal bullet. Oh, gee. This guy clearly played the clone room from that game.
Whichever way you look at it, I can't have been the shooter.
How did it come to this?
Me and the president, we made up faking the assassination attempt. Now it's your turn to admit something. Who the killer really is.
There's no way Tabby did it, is there? Don't let him get to you, Kay. We just need to go over his statements again. There must be something further we can deduce from them. Okay, let's do this, Mr. Edgeworth. Okay.
Hold it!
No, that's...
Objection!
What was it you said? The forensics would back you up? How does it feel to be shot in the chest by your own conclusive proof, huh? Not so good, I imagine.
The bullet and the gun are a match, Mr. Edgeworth. That kind of has to mean Tabby pulled the trigger, no? Even so, I simply cannot accept that.
But sir, there's no denying the evidence!
There isn't. So what am I missing? If I assume Miss Lloyd to be innocent, then the gun and the bullet shouldn't be a match. What is it, Kay? I was just thinking, if the evidence points to something that doesn't seem possible, then maybe there's something wrong with it. You're asking me to call the evidence into question? Well, there's no way Tabby did this, right? So if the evidence says that she did, then the problem must lie there. You seem very sure about this. Call it my great thief's intuition. Intuition, huh? Still, she could be very right about this. I simply don't believe Miss Lloyd to be a malicious liar, which means... as someone who believes that evidence is everything in court, the irony is not lost on me. But... if I were to call a piece of evidence into question, it would have to be the gun. If something untoward is going on here, it would have to involve the weapon, not the bullet. After all, we only just recovered the bullet a little while ago. Furthermore, we know Mr. Knight had an opportunity to handle the gun.
Now, hand over the evidence you've gathered and remove yourselves from this plane.
I'd do as he says if I were you, Edgeworth.
This can't really be the end of the line, can it? Indeed, he had an ample opportunity. There's no doubt that this gun is the weapon that was used in the crime, which means if it belonged to Mr. Knight. The gun belongs to Mr. Knight. He switched them around. That has to be it.
The bullet that killed Rook was found from the gun you found in the spectator area.
Objection!
Admit it, you switched the guns, didn't you, Mr. Knight? That's why the markings match the weapon. It was yours all along.
An intriguing move there, Edgeworth. And?
You must have made the switch when I handed over the evidence, while I was busy trying to make the case for remaining on the investigation. You took the laser sight from the gun we found in the trash can and put it on your own. Then, not long afterwards, you handed that gun back to me instead of the one we found.
I did it, huh? You think somehow I knew you'd find, let alone run forensics on my bullet sometime in the future?
Is that so strange? You're a chess player, after all. A man well used to thinking several moves ahead.
Oh, really? Watch this! I'm flattered, but as much as it pains me to admit it, you're overestimating my abilities. Besides, do you have any proof that I made the old switcheroo with the guns?
Knightley's counter part 2.
So the gun is the same model as mine. Weird, sure, but it's just a coincidence. And look, there's a laser sight attached. Also, take a look in the cylinder. 2 spent bullets. Just what we'd expect to see. So what proof do you have that I switched the original gun out for mine, huh? None! That's what!
You say I'm overestimating your abilities. You surprise me.
What can I say? I'm a modest guy. Well, more modest than you, that's for sure. Everywhere except at the chessboard, that is.
Well, I don't see a chessboard here, do you?
Shame. Still, guess that gives you a nice excuse. I didn't mess up. I just didn't have the right evidence.
I don't think I'll be the one making excuses. Rather, I didn't mess up. They just got lucky with the evidence. Will be your excuse, I imagine. Okay, so I think for this one you have to present on the last thing. Because here's the thing. Here's the thing.
Objection!
I have your proof right here.
That's your proof? I think you've been working too hard, Mr. Edgeworth.
Not the gun itself, the evidence it carries. Evidence that will prove once and for all that it does in fact belong to you.
I'm looking forward to this. Go ahead, make your move. What's about to come into play? The rook? The bishop? Not a pawn, surely.
The evidence the gun will pry takes the form of the fingerprints. Fingerprints, namely your fingerprints, Mr. Knight.
Objection!
My prints? Pah! Of course my prints are in the gun. You handed it right to me when you gave up the evidence. How could they not be on there?
Objection!
What if I told you there are prints on a part of the gun that you shouldn't have touched at any point?
What? Where? You can't prove that.
Oh, but I can. There's a place where your fingerprints could never have left if things happened as you said they did. Allow me to present the final piece of evidence that will bring our game to its rightful conclusion. Here, look closely at the cylinder, Detective.
2 bullets fired, but where the prints we're looking for, sir?
You did indeed switch the guns when I handed you the evidence. But if that were all you had done, your deception would have been easily detected. Because the number of bullets fired by each gun was different.
There were 2 spent bullets in the gun we found!
Yeah, but what about Mr. Knight's gun? We know that he fired 2 bullets from the stage into the balloon. And he fired another bullet into Mr. Rook, ending his life. So 3 bullets in total, plus the few odd ones he let loose in shock during our little game. And after each shot, he reloaded his gun out of habit. With his bare hands, of course. Officer, where exactly were Mr. Knight's fingerprints found? The ones you mentioned in your report.
Sir, they were found on the exterior of the weapon, but also on the bullets themselves.
Now, I'm not sure they could have gone there just from me handing you the evidence, Mr. Knight.
That's...
And there we have it. Proof you did indeed switch the guns. This gun, the one we fought about. This gun, the one which fired the bullet that killed Mr. Rook, is yours. And in taking his life, you are the true assassin.
I didn't,
Checkmate, Mr. Knightley.
No! I was gonna be the new chief of security! And blasted Rook! If it hadn't been for him, I would have been in charge by now! I would have had control of the whole team! My plan was perfect! The fake assassination was supposed to be flawless!
Detective Gumshoe.
Right away, sir.
Curse you, Edgeworth! Our game isn't over yet!
I'm afraid this is as far as we go for today. The next moves we play will be in the courtroom.
But, it's not fair! It's not fair!
March 25th, 5:12 p.m., Gourd Lake. Lakeside Stage.
Mr. Edgeworth, I owe you a debt of gratitude. You exposed a murder within the ranks of my own personal guard. I will not soon forget that.
He's suddenly very presidential again, now that we're back outside the plane.
I saw it, you know, when I first proposed the fake assassination to him.
You want me to handle it, not Rook?
Rook refused. But I can rely on you, can't I?
Of course, sir. You can count on me. I'll put together a plan that can't possibly fail. And he'll play his part like the pawn he is.
The hatred was in his eyes, and it was plain to see. He despised poor Rook. I was not entirely comfortable about moving forward with Knight in charge of our little deception. And looking back, I think he sensed my discomfort. I can't help thinking I played a part in his decision to end Rook's life.
Mr. President, none of this would have happened if you hadn't plotted a fake attempt on your life. That was your crime, and it's a crime you will have to live with.
You're right. I can only apologize for the part I played, and I will no doubt be made to pay for my actions one way or another. But I thank you nonetheless. You solved the riddle of Rook's demise, and for that, I shall be eternally grateful. I will be here in your country for a little while longer yet. But when I returned home, perhaps you will visit us in Zhangfa. You will always be welcome.
Oh, thank you! Thank you, thank you, thank you! Y'all don't know how grateful I am! All's well that ends well. Miss Lloyd, the accusation of murder made against you was, of course, entirely groundless. But the fact remains that you were a willing participant in the staged assassination attempt. The police will no doubt wish to speak with you about the matter. You should be aware that you may well be punished for your actions. I know, and I'm awfully sorry about everything. Truly I am. I understand your desire for a scoop, but there are limits. There sure are. You got me some serious thinking to do. You did it, Mr. Edgeworth. That was something else. Local prosecutor solves assassination conundrum, earns eternal gratitude of president. How's that for a headline? Hey, that there's my department. Mr. Prosecutor, how's it feel to solve such an important case? You must be forever over the moon. She certainly doesn't stay down for long. No comment. Darn! Why, you're one of the most tight-lipped son of a guns I've ever seen. As well I should be. This case is not over yet.
It isn't? How come, sir?
Because until we unravel the story behind this, the case will never completely be over.
Take that!
Tequila's calling card. Mr. Tequila has yet to complete his assignment.
You mean he might still try to murder the president?
I hope I'm wrong. But if I'm not, this could all blow up into something more sinister yet. As one would expect, with the attempted assassination of a president, the case was all over the news. And my preparations for Mr. Knight's trial were constantly interrupted by requests from the press. There wasn't a person in the land who didn't know about the case. Everybody was talking about it. But in the midst of the frenzy that followed, nobody noticed this was only the first move in a game far bigger than any of us could have imagined. And there we have it. That is the end of Case 1. And honestly, I gotta say right now, bro, what an upgrade from Turnabout Visitor. I mean, for one, just hang on, before we start. well, end the stream more accurately. Let me just start off by saying this stream has gone on for a little under 4 hours. Now let's compare that to the stream where I did the entirety of Turnabout Visitor. Was done in an hour 52, so just a little under 2 hours. This case is nearly double in length, and honestly, it was infinitely better written. But anyways, next up we have what I think to be the weakest case in Investigations 2, but just because I think it's the weakest doesn't mean it's bad. I mean, it introduces 2 characters, one of which, Astral, Matt, you will hate this character. I guarantee you will hate this character. For the right reasons, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Anyways, I'm Quint, and I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye!